Hey, how you doing?
Hey.
Garth!
Hey, Tiny, who's playing tonight?
Jolly Green Giants, Shitty Beatles.
The Shitty Beatles. Are they any good?
They suck.
Then it's not just a clever name.
This is insane, you guys.
Yo, this is sexy, man.
Broadcasting live from the internet, it's Tuesday night, and this is the PanelsOnPages.com podcast with your host, Lee Rodriguez.
At the end of the day, babies are terrible people, and I'm not sorry for saying it.
Jason Knize.
Motherfucker, I won best costume.
Jose Guzman.
Yeah, I know nothing about Firestorm except for his hat's always burning.
And Kelly Harris.
Boy, love, it appears we got a penis in the mail.
I glued my fucking eyes shut!
I just want to see all these Yelp reviews of Jose's jizz.
Oh, sorry, I knocked over the salt.
Like you had anything better to do.
What's going on, everybody? Today is Tuesday, July 2nd, 2019, and this is episode 475 of the Panels on Pages podcast. I'm your host, Jason Knize, Knize if you're nasty. The Right Reverend Lee Rodriguez won't be making it tonight because the power company cut through his internet lines, and it'll be as many as days before he gets that fixed. So,
Or the YouTube Illuminati is trying to
demonetize that.
Demonetized by cutting our internet.
So I'm going to be running things tonight, and with me tonight, joining me, great.
Joining us,
musical
mythical guest,
Joining me tonight, we've got Jose Guzman.
Candy, coming down for her first appearance. Be kind to her, first night.
Kelly Harris. And I'm hoping Dan Mahoney sees my message sooner than later. I did not run by him that we wanted him on the show tonight, but
And your guest host,
sleepy boy.
Jason Knize.
what the fuck? You guys know I love hosting the podcast so much.
Musical guest, Black Ice Knize.
I thought you were just gonna say this guy's a special, a cool guest is black guys.
Tonight's special guest, Black Guy.
Your mom's favorite. Oh man. So
that dude. All your moms swallow.
we'll get to that. We will get to that. You know, it's a abbreviated show tonight since there's only the three of us as of right now. Not a whole lot of participation in this week's top six, which we will also talk about. But
I don't know if it's relevant, but I did get a hand-pieced ransom note saying that somebody was going to cut one of our cable lines.
Oh man, you should have mentioned that.
it was sent in April. Whoops.
They said if we don't make it to episode 180 or 480, they're going to cut the line.
We got to.
It also said we coming for you, Travis.
Yeah.
We got to keep the podcast over 55 miles per hour. So first thing I want to talk about, big ups to everyone, all of our listeners, population, friends, everybody who watched and shared my How to Solve the Captain Marvel Problem in Endgame video. Much appreciation.
I watched it yesterday. It was good.
Oh, thanks so much. Really surprised. Like, we have definitely gotten a few dickhead comments from piss babies, but by and large, they've gotten their asses ratioed. Like, it's like even the thumbs up, thumbs down on YouTube. I think we only have 2 thumbs down compared to like 20 thumbs up. So that's amazing. You know.
Well, especially since we know who the one person is doing it twice. No name.
You. No, I mean, I could probably. I would say that that's fair for a Captain Marvel video on the internet. At least 2 thumbs down.
It's the internet. Somebody's gonna fucking
Right.
thumbs down you.
A lot. There's a couple comments on YouTube that are like, obviously they didn't watch the video.
Oh yeah.
It's like, come on, guys, just watch the video, you dumb idiot. But yeah, thank you everybody for the kind words and the support. Put a lot of work into that thing, and hopefully doing more of that in the future. So stay tuned. Just as long as each Marvel Universe movie in the future has somebody with a bad mom haircut, we'll have content.
I can't wait to write a video and make you talk about anime. You ever met a guy and like within seconds you just know he is an anime YouTube?
Yeah.
Just as long as you spell everything phonetically, so I don't get into a Super Saiyan debacle like last week. God damn it. And then this past weekend was my birthday, so that's cool. Turned the ripe old age of 28 years old, so that's nice.
Old as fuck.
Really?
Oh man, you're only 1 year young. You're 1 year older than me?
Just 1 year older. Getting really.
That's cool.
Getting kind of worried about turning 30. In a couple of years. It's kind of weighing on my mind.
Old as fuck.
But really fucking solid birthday. Started out with kind of had a birthday weekend like I'm a black chick. But started out with me and Mary have been doing a lot of eating vegetarian the past few months, and it has been a while since we got down on some just straight up barbecue. And our favorite place around here, Four Rivers, that serves cheer wine on tap. Throwback to last week's conversation. It's just fantastic. Just good barbecue, ribs, pulled pork. Their baked beans and their macaroni cheese might be the best baked beans and macaroni and cheese I've ever had in my life. Like, unfuckwithable. But, of course, both of us regretted it the next morning. Like, our systems did not react well to all of a sudden being filled full of meat. I've eaten more meat recently than she has, but still, neither of us got out of it unscathed. But it was well worth it. Hit up Target that night for my weekly NECA ambassador duties, and they had the Pennywise the Dancing Clown set in the NECA section, so pick that sucker up. I currently have 2 Pennywise figures that I still have yet to open, so I've got a pile of shit on our kitchen table for getting ready to do unboxings, so that should be fun. Other stuff I need to unbox. Lee hooked me up with a dope-ass Casey Jones mask from the movie, which is amazing.
That thing looks really cool.
Oh, I've had that thing on my Amazon list for so long. And then Mary got me the cheese grater that is shaped like the Shredder. And we had dinner the other night, and we wanted to grate some Parmesan cheese. And I thought about it for a second. I was like, we'll use our other grater for right now, because I still want to unbox that thing and have it all clean, not have it full of stinky foot cheese. So there's that.
You should, in your unboxing video, grate an entire thing of cheese.
Nice. And then just grab handfuls.
Yes. Well, you do that. It's like a series of unboxing videos, and for your next one, you're opening the Pennywise, but you're also just eating shredded cheese the entire time. And with no real explanation of why you're doing that.
Or everything I unbox, I then grate.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a brand new Pennywise figure. Let's see how it does up against the Shredder.
Meanwhile, Ethan Vince Skyver is like, that's a good idea.
Oh, my God. So many Julianne Rose Tico action figures. So, Saturday, we had plans to watch Endgame with Jose and his lady. But that fell through. We weren't feeling good, so we canceled that. So instead, me and Mary went to our new favorite donut place, got a dozen donuts, came home, hit the vape a few times, ate donuts, watched YouTube, and took a nap. Pretty great birthday.
It's a solid day.
And also, it recharged us for later on in the night. We had plans to head out to Daytona Beach, which is straight up trash people country, to check out AEW Fyter Fest.
How long of a drive is that for you guys?
It was an hour.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, and we had literally no traffic. The hardest part was finding a place to park.
Fuck out.
Yeah, yeah. We thought getting in was difficult, but getting out, we were at the top of the parking garage, and we literally sat there with seeing no cars moving for like 2 full hours, right?
Oh, it was an hour and 40 minutes before the first car moved.
Oh, Jesus.
And we were parked like 6 blocks from the venue, too. They just weren't ready. It was like they didn't have manned booths. And also, they were making you pay when you leave, so that made it even worse.
Oh, I always hate that.
And they didn't have
But it's
manned
also-
booths.
Yeah, a guy taking your ticket, putting it in, taking your money.
Yeah.
Oh,
A
God. that's
dickhead
One booth.
leaning on the machine, taking your ticket and taking your money, too, at the same time. So,
Probably loving every minute of it.
but, man, Fyter Fest, I'm big into AEW lately. Double or Nothing was great. All In was fantastic, which, not actually AEW branded, but I fucking count it.
Yeah, I count it as the first show.
And then they're like, hey, we're going to do another show in Dirtbag Daytona in the same venue that they did the Bash at the Beach where the NWO formed. And, oh, yeah, by the way, Jon Moxley is going to have his first AEW match against Joey Janela at this show. And I was like, oh, what a wonderful birthday this is. But, man, we got in a little bit late because of the parking situation. So we walked in during the 3-way tag match. So
Okay.
we didn't get to see any of the opening stuff in the buy-in. We didn't get to see most of that opening tag match, but thankfully that's all available on YouTube to rewatch for anyone that's interested. And I don't know what the situation is with the Fyter Fest replay on Bleacher
It's
Report.
on BR Live.
Okay, so
Because that's how I watched it, because I watched the day after.
oh yeah, you did watch it the day after. Nice. So had to shoo some fat guy eating nachos out of our seats.
It's about right.
Yeah, and then man, the kids in front of us. Well, okay, so to set this up, the whole gimmick of the show was it was a spoof of Fyter Fest. So they were talking about getting all these models, all these bands, all these celebrities, fucking out on the beach. It's going to be crazy. And then everything sort of started to fall apart. But also it's running parallel to this CEO fighting game championship. So it's basically a convention of fighting game nerds who then also just showed up at this wrestling show. So it was a real particular type of crowd. You had the Venn diagram was wrestling fans, Daytona Beach trash, and then video game nerds. And put all those together, what a smell. What
Oh, God, I can
a
only
smell.
imagine.
The guy in front of me, every time he got up and sat down, you caught a little bit of his flavor.
A something.
Yeah, like it wasn't like shit smell. It wasn't like straight BO, but it didn't smell nice by any means.
No.
But yeah, the entire row in front of us was kids. They had to be between 18 to 22 at best. And just a bunch of dudes thinking they're the funniest fucking guys in the entire arena until
We showed them who the fucking funniest guys in the goddamn arena were.
oh my god.
Sandwiched in between two crowds that wanted to do it, sat us who did do it.
Yeah, there were some real Daytona Beach trash behind us, which were kind of like that type of fan that's like, that's a stupid chant. These people are lame. And then trying to start their own awful chants, just yelling
those guys.
yelling slobber knocker randomly and without any sort of rhythm.
Well, yeah. Once they brought JR, it was nothing but slobber knocker
Right.
for the rest of the night.
And then the dudes in front of us who were trying to, make chants out of anything, but then, they latched on to Jose, and anything that came out of Jose's mouth, they fucking laughed. They thought it was so funny. Like, he would say, like, inside joke shit, and these people would lose it.
But to be fair, there were some gems out there.
No.
I mean, Jose's got good delivery.
To be fair, you're fucking great. You're a treasure. But just goes to show, these people were primed and ready to be led.
Yeah. At the end of the show, the guy behind me shook my hand. And said, "You were great to sit behind," and shook my hand.
Jose is really fantastic to go to a wrestling show with. Like, we used to go shows all the time back in the day, and then, what was it? It was the Cruiserweight Classic, which it had been a while since we had gone to a wrestling show together, and we went to the Cruiserweight Classic, and you were just on top form, just yelling stupid shit. And why not?
That's where I live.
Yeah.
Stupid shit.
It's a fun time.
What really got him when it turned in our favor was when the librarians came out. And I screamed, "Show me your card catalog."
Yeah, everyone was trying to workshop their library puns, and Jose. I was thinking of a card catalog joke as Jose came up with his.
And I
Everyone,
was like, these guys are fucking getting people to boo books. What's going on in Daytona?
there were people yelling burn books or reading is stupid, and I was just like, that is not a good look, people.
Oh, that librarian gimmick needs to go.
It's like we've talked about it because Jose hasn't watched much at all of AEW yet. So I was trying to keep him up to date on everything that's going on and talking about how the pre-shows, they're not framing the pre-show the way they should. Which
They're not good.
Even though this was all a free show, you should still be convincing people to buy it off of the pre-show. Yet they're sticking their dumbest, weirdest shit in the pre-show. The tag match was amazing. But
the rest was not good.
The librarian segment was not good, and the hardcore
too long, way too long.
The hardcore match with Nakazawa and the head guy of CEO wasn't terrible by any means.
So
that should not have made tape.
Explain to me the CEO, because Mary was telling me something about what was going on.
So CEO is a big fighting game tournament.
CEO is the fighting game tournament.
Yeah.
Yes. And Kenny Omega is a giant nerd. So he loves video games. And he wanted to run some wrestling shows tied to this event. And he did it last year with the New Japan show, and now he did it again with AEW. And that dude that Nakazawa wrestled was the guy that runs CEO.
Okay. So he's the CEO of CEO.
Yes.
Okay, now I get it.
I understand.
Okay, so cool. So he's just a fucking big old goddamn convention gaming nerd who gets in there and gets fucking dirty.
Well, I mean, this time, like, he's not an active wrestler. This was like
right.
a one-off.
But he fucking got up in it.
He did. But like Kelly said, it should have been a match for the live crowd only. Like, don't broadcast this anywhere.
No.
But to its credit, it wasn't as bad as it could have been.
Oh, no, it could have been straight just trash.
Right.
It wasn't dog shit.
Yeah,
but
no, it wasn't a total abomination. It was fine.
But for your second show leading into your TNT show in October, maybe this shouldn't have been the third match on the card of your second show.
Exactly.
And the librarian stuff, it started off on being the elite as let's see if we can get this garbage over.
Yeah.
And they haven't.
No, they have absolutely not.
Like, they thought that they could just say that and then just be like, okay, run free, librarians. You're
like,
over
it's a
now.
funny bit to do on your show, but not on your, like, actual show.
Yeah.
Maybe like an in-between thing.
Yeah.
It's kind of just, the crowd, the hype man. But it lasted way too long.
It also
Way too long.
doesn't help that Leva Bates is just terrible.
Yeah, you're not a big fan of hers, but wow.
She's awful.
She had more cheeks out of her shorts than in her shorts.
Yeah, no, those are some small shorts.
It's really tiny.
I'll give her that.
I know exactly what Dewey Decimal Number that book is.
Like, we're talking the non-fiction section.
Oh, it is deadly.
Yes, librarian, can you point me to the women's anatomy section of the library? So yeah, there was the pre-show, but then just like Double or Nothing, once the main show hits, it's all killer, no filler.
Yeah.
Like they started the show with more of the Fyter Fest bits, but they didn't keep going back to that all night. They just fucking went for it. They were like, wrestling. Let's go. Let's do this. And I would say there were 6, maybe 5 matches on the main card. But then, the show was over by 10:30, 10:45. Nobody was exhausted. Nobody was bored.
No, everyone looked like they were having a fucking blast.
That was one of the things that Jose made sure to point out was, so man, wrestling's fun again, huh? I mean, we've been going to the WrestleMania weekend events for the past few years, so
but that was a mix. It took
Sure.
us going to like a bunch of different things to get that rush. This was finally like under one roof that this is what this whole thing is forever.
Right.
This is what we're doing.
Even like the spring break shows have been fun, but it's not the same atmosphere as like a big production like this.
Right, yeah. Spring Break will never compete with the WWE. This feels like it's on track to be able to fucking compete.
I mean,
And I like that. I like that because number one, they need that because they're fucking garbage. So they need something to be good. Now they could take it 2 ways. They can actually do something with it and fucking start balling, or they can just be fucking continue to be garbage because they don't think this is a threat.
it's weird because they're definitely trying to make changes, and they're making changes week by week. WWE is, but none of it is sticking or working necessarily, to the point where this week they gave Raw to Paul Heyman and SmackDown to Eric Bischoff, but it feels like the same show still.
They let Corey Graves say a swear word.
Yeah,
though.
he said the S word. Yeah. I haven't been watching recently, but I watched last night to see if there was going to be any difference because of Paul Heyman, and if there would be any answer to Fyter Fest, because even though it wasn't as big a show as Double or Nothing, it was Moxley's first match in AEW since leaving WWE. But like, there was definitely some changes made, but it's weird that whole first segment, Lashley versus Strowman, and then they go through the LED board with the fucking goofy-ass sparky explosions, Corey Graves yelling holy shit, and then they cut to that weird high camera angle that's looking like to the side of the stage with no commentary, and held on that for what seemed like 5 minutes.
Huh.
And this is your opening segment of the show. Like, it was a cool moment and all, but then you're going to hold on it for that long and then go to commercial? Okay,
Weird.
guys. Okay, whatever.
They don't know what they're doing.
I wonder if any of it was... Okay, so let's get back to Fyter Fest. Kelly, do you have that card available, or the sequence
I
of
can get it.
matches? Yeah, pull that up real quick. I believe the first match was Christopher
Daniels
Daniels versus
versus
Shima.
Shima.
Yeah. Which I will say this about that match and all of the matches at Fyter Fest. Even if the crowd isn't into it at the beginning, they're into it at the end of the match.
Yeah, everyone's having so much fun.
Yeah.
You end up getting into it, even the sorry ones.
Yeah. And not to say there were sorry ones past past the
But,
pre-show.
there were some dull moments at times.
Yeah. And those dudes...
Daniels versus Shima was cool just from a historical perspective, seeing those guys against each other.
Yeah, because they used to wrestle each other 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And both of them, Daniels is 40-something, and Shima's not that much
He's
younger.
right around there.
Yeah. And both
Shima's
of those dudes
41.
can go. 41, and I think Daniels is 49.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, no complaints. You know, we were still kind of getting settled at that point, getting our comedic voices fine-tuned.
Mm-hmm.
At one point. All right, what was the next match after that?
That was Riho beating Yuka Sakazaki and Nyla Rose.
Okay.
That match ruled.
Which I saw that picture of who she was trying to be.
Right, Nyla Rose was cosplaying essentially as the character from, what was it, Primal Rage? No, Killer Instinct. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Jose was like, is she Brazilian? Is she from Jamaica? What is this outfit?
Yeah, is she Scorpion? She's got a mask on. I don't know what's happening here. I don't think they know what's happening here.
We're talking about how one of my big problems with Nyla Rose from Double or Nothing was her gear, and it wasn't good, it wasn't flattering, and then this gear, it was better, but it didn't really work with her character. But now that it's a video game thing, it makes more sense.
Yeah.
But Jose was commenting to the fact that it's too much. It's like, what are you? Are you this? Are you that? Are you this? And I was like, we won't continue that conversation, but it was interesting.
We should be able to, though.
Okay.
It was a perfectly honest question.
Okay. No.
Because I
say
don't
it.
know her. I
Don't
didn't know
say
what
it.
was going on.
That's true. It could have been problematic, though.
Well,
hey, yeah, no shit. Sometimes that is. Depends on how you find out, huh?
yeah, he's saying, I don't know what her thing is. There's, too many things going on. And I made some comment oh, you don't even know. And Jose's just like, what, she got a dick? We're like,
Yeah, but then he
Jose!
kept saying, kinda close.
Well,
and I'm like, well, what do you mean? What?
I don't know.
Mean? I don't know what that means.
I don't know.
You kinda have a dick? I don't know.
I don't know what's going on down there, but...
Well, I don't even know her. I don't know what the fuck you were talking about. I'm just trying to get context of what the fuck's happening.
But it brings up an interesting point, because I think after the show, Tony Khan, who's the owner of AEW, was talking about how he's not a fan of intergender wrestling, and we likely won't see it on AEW. And it's kind of that's a weird hill to die on, because I'm not saying Nyla Rose is low-key one of the first trans women to fight in a mainstream wrestling organization. Just to put that out there for those listening.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not saying she's not a woman, because I don't want the woke police coming after me. But why take the stance of we won't do intergender wrestling when you're already kind of breaking barriers by bringing in a trans woman who is huge?
Yeah, she's a monster.
Some would say she's got the build of a man going against two small Japanese women. So what's the difference if you would have a match with a giant dude versus... I'm not calling her a giant dude. I'm just saying, what's the difference between having intergender wrestling and this?
I think it comes from most intergender wrestling is bad.
Yeah, but I think
I think he needs to see that it can be good.
yes.
I genuinely think that's where it comes from. I don't think it's much of a he's like so averse to it. I just think he doesn't think it's any good.
And he's supposedly a big wrestling fan, so I don't understand that. Maybe it's coming down from the top, like TNT is pushing that on him.
That could be too.
But he said specifically he's not a fan. But it's all. Well, we had this discussion in the car, waiting to get out of the parking lot. When you're talking about intergender in actual competitive sports, it's different than fucking pro wrestling.
Yeah.
It's predetermined. It's choreographed. It's fucking fake. And if you have talented wrestlers on either side of the ring, whether they're man, woman, trans woman, whatever, if you have good competitors and put together good matches, it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
So why even make a comment on that? I just didn't get it.
Yeah, no, it seems weird. I would say just don't say anything.
Right. Exactly.
Like, if you don't do it, you don't do it. Who cares? But if you make a comment about not doing it, well, then you're the one that shoved the elephant into the room.
Right. I'm sorry if
there were no elephants here before.
Why are there all of a sudden all these elephants in this room?
Yeah. Who put all these elephants in here?
Tony Khan. He just brought a semi-truck full of elephants and just dumped them out into the media scrum room.
Yeah.
Tony. But yeah, you would have expected that match to be a squash, put Nyla over as this huge monster, but no. It was competitive and nasty. That I keep seeing people describe it as a King Kong knee drop off the top. Where
oh yeah, that was brutal.
Was it Riho or Yuka was hanging off of the ropes?
That was Riho.
And then Nyla Rose jumped off the top and kneed her in the head. That was super cool. I loved Nyla catching both of them, which I expected.
That was rad.
I expected the whole match to kind of go like that, but it didn't. There was a lot where Nyla powdered to the outside, and they just let Yuka and Riho go at it.
That's smart. Let them show what they can do.
But another big loss for Nyla Rose, and I guess on commentary they were playing up the fact that she didn't go for a pin a couple times. She's her own worst enemy. Yeah, they were definitely
playing up that she had the visual pin several times, but she pretty much chose to keep playing around.
And that's supposed to be a big deal with AEW, is that wins and losses are going to matter.
Yeah.
So, if you're 0-2, you're not going to be getting a title shot anytime soon. Once there is a title. What do we got next?
Next is the four-way, where Adam Page beat Jimmy Havoc, Jungle Boy, and MJF.
Oh, my God.
Talk about nuts, that Jungle Boy. I'll tell you what, though. Look at his logo. A lot of sex going on in there.
Well, first of all, Friday night when we're out and about doing pre-birthday stuff, I get a notification on my phone that Luchasaurus followed me on Twitter, and I was like, oh, shit! So I fucking click on it, and it's like, I can't find it. I get a notification from Twitter that's like, sorry, this page no longer exists. I'm like, what? That's weird. And then somebody tweeted something Saturday about Luchasaurus, and I went to look at it, and it says, Luchasaurus has blocked you. I'm like, what? What the fuck? Luchasaurus blocked. So during the match, Luchasaurus, by the way, is Jungle Boy's, his heavy. They come out to the ring together. Jungle Boy rides on his shoulders. And the entire time I'm yelling to Luchasaurus, unblock me on Twitter! He was not listening. Almost got a chant going. A few of the kids in front of us were like, unblock this guy! But yeah, we were getting a drink, and I hear MGF's music hit. And I'm like, oh, we gotta go. We gotta go right now. Get back to our seats. That theme is such a banger, by the way. And Jose's face when MJF told the crowd that all their moms swallow. he
I
went,
love this guy.
He went straight back to the Attitude Era. Jose did. He felt like a fucking kid again. And then there was the one bit where he's like, yeah, because it was a video gamer crowd. He was like, yeah, I used to play video games when I was still a virgin. And then the camera cuts to this one guy who's just fucking not happy that they cut to him whatsoever. He is such a good heel to the point where yesterday he was retweeting people's fan art of him, like decent fan art, and just shitting all over it.
Oh, yeah. No, he's great.
Which is like, that's the perfect way to do it. Like, you gotta, if you're gonna tweet something at MJF, you gotta be ready to be roasted.
Yeah.
So, like, you can't be tweeting art at him and have, you know, hurt feelings. But, like,
Yeah.
as that character, that's the perfect way to share your fans' work with your other fans, but still shit on them and be in character at the same time. This guy's fantastic. Jungle Boy's great. Havoc didn't have much to do, but good for him. Good for that guy for getting a steady paycheck and not having to go through broken glass every week.
Yeah.
And Adam Page is just a hoss. One of Jose's favorite things to do when it comes to wrestling is
His music reminded me of it, so it's stuck.
He will give you a fucking nickname within the first 3 seconds that he's exposed to you. And because of Adam Page's theme music, it's the Modelo music, essentially. But Jose thought it sounded like the Django theme. So Adam Page will forever be Django. Just like back in the day when Bray Wyatt was in the Nexus and he wore cowboy boots with his gear.
That's why he's Boots?
Jose dubbed him Boots.
I never knew the origin of Boots.
And Kazarian, Jose decided looked like Steve Brule.
Yep.
So he's forever Steve Brule. Jose yelled Dr. Steve Brule at Kazarian, and the entire section laughed.
It was during the Cody Rhodes, because remember they all started coming out.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I was like, let him through. He's a doctor.
He doesn't look anything like him.
No, I can see it. I can see it a little bit, a tiny bit.
He does. Like, but not now. You have to. It's specifically that episode we were watching. He had different hair at that time. He had a different gimmick. It was a different look, and it was. He didn't look like Steve Brule, but he resembled Steve Brule enough to me that he was my favorite, and I dubbed him Steve Brule. It made my heart happy.
God.
Shout out Steve Brule.
Shout out to Steve Brule.
It's like he's a doctor. Let him through. God damn it!
But man, all those guys are stars. Even Havoc.
Yeah.
Fuck it. All of them can be huge stars.
Havoc's past his prime at this point.
Oh yeah.
He's still got something there.
He can give back. He can eat a few pins on TNT. And still shove some... Oh, Mary in the chat. You should be asleep, young lady. Mary in the chat made sure to mention Bill Clinton, the cameraman.
Oh, yeah.
One of the cameramen just had a slight resemblance to former President Bill Clinton.
Like a side profile, gray hair.
Kind of like chubby face. Got kind of like the gin blossom nose. Oh my god.
Is that the one that fell in the pool?
Yes, same one. Same dude.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And you gotta remember, we're seeing these guys from kind of far away, so there is no real facial features. So Your profile, you look like Bill Clinton. I'm gonna call you Bill Clinton all night. And the worst, so like during the match, at some points it'd be cool. They got all these camera guys, and they never show anything up on the screens. So during when they're like fighting outside, you hear everyone chanting, "Show it on the screens! Show it on the screens!" So every now and then, I'd yell, "Cut the goddamn Bill Clinton's angle! What's going on?"
Yeah, I mean, they still have some production issues to work out, but I think for the most part, they're trying not to use the screens to show, the live video because they don't want to get that infinite video thing going on, and they've got the big ass logos up there, and every so often they would cut to the feed so that we could watch it on the screens, but it was very brief.
Okay.
So it was calculated. But, like, a lot of these fucking guys, these fucking kids, were bitching. Like, I can't see what's going on when, obviously, these guys are just laying around the outside of the ring selling. Like, you don't need to see that necessarily. So
No, but there was a couple moves that would have been nice to know what was going on down there.
Sure.
Because otherwise, it's just you're just looking at an empty ring, everyone in the front rows screaming, and you have no idea what the fuck is going on. So at least you have some context, even if it's them just pretending they got poopy tummies.
So what was after that? Was Cody after that?
That was Cody and Darby going to the time limit draw.
Oh my God, you guys.
And that turned into a thing too, because all the way before that, they kept coming on. 10 minutes remaining of this match.
Yeah, they were setting it up in the previous matches. So Jose was keeping time with how much time people had left in their matches, and he was just yelling out random intervals of time left.
Hurry up. You got 4 minutes.
But man, I love Cody so fucking much, you guys.
I thought it was a great match. I thought it was a perfect debut for Darby because it didn't hurt Cody to lose.
Yeah.
He didn't lose.
Yeah.
And it made Darby look credible because he went the full 20 minutes.
Yeah. A perfect finish to not give Cody a loss and also build up Darby Allin, who looked tiny next to Cody. But
he really does.
Put up a fight and did some sick shit, including that coffin drop off of the top rope onto the apron.
I looked at it and Knize, and I was like, okay, bye-bye, guys.
I regret nothing.
It was fucking insane.
He's a crazy person.
Do you guys know that that's the hardest part of the ring?
Yeah.
Both Jose and Mary couldn't say that fast enough.
I have a theory that it's actually the softest part.
Probably.
Maybe. I mean, that would make sense, wouldn't it?
It's saying that now that is in play. Like that moves there are in play because there's some fucking great nasty moves.
They had to innovate, once you get to a certain point where you've done everything you could possibly do in the ring, you got to add something new to it, and the apron was what it was. Yeah, I mean, I keep getting impressed by what Cody does as far as his matches go in, All In and Double or Nothing. They're entertaining. They're not the most spectacular feats of athleticism.
Oh, when he fucking threw him through the ropes and was like,
that was scary.
Yes. Yeah, he whips him towards the turnbuckle, and Darby Allin just flies through the top and the middle rope to the outside, and Cody was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah. Like, did he know he just did that? Somebody check him. Make sure he's all right.
But yeah, and then you had Sean Spears, a.k.a. Ty Dillinger, come out at the end and thwap Cody in the head with a steel chair, unprotected, from where we were sitting. From where we were sitting, it did not look very hard. But apparently the chair was gimmicked so that it wouldn't hurt. But then the fact that it was gimmicked, like it malfunctioned, and something swung
It
around.
looked like it was the top of the chair.
Right.
caught him.
The back of the chair swung around Cody's head and gashed him open in the back of the head, and he had 10 staples, and he bled like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
My theory was he saw how bad Dusty Rhodes' forehead looked towards the end of his career, so he's like, how about I just blade in the back of my head?
Yeah, no. Don't hit the moneymaker, baby.
Yeah.
Back of the head, I don't see that shit. Whatever. Let's go.
Right. I still feel like I'm being worked with that whole thing, which I'm fine with. Like,
No, yeah, but well, it's obvious it was not meant to happen like that, I would think. Not with where he was cut.
but I
That
still
just
think
doesn't seem on purpose.
I still think whether or not Cody got busted open, they were still gonna lean on the storyline of, oh, this wasn't supposed to happen. Like,
yeah,
Yeah.
right.
they were gonna go hard in that direction no matter what. They were still gonna have,
Which is cool. Sell that.
yeah, they were still gonna have fucking MJF run out, everybody run out to check on Cody.
I did like MJF getting right up in front there.
Yeah, my best friend, the Codester, the roller coaster.
Yeah, I cheered for him so much.
Yeah, he's great.
He's great.
He's fantastic. I love him, but I don't ever want him to notice me. What is the opposite of senpai notice me? That's what I want for MJF. There was some line that was like, yeah, being here in Daytona reminds me of this one TLC show. I look out in the crowd and I see a bunch of my 600-pound lives.
Yeah.
And it's true. Like, I wasn't the only thick boy that thought it would be a good idea to get a seat on the aisle, because there were some thickies. Made me feel like a real svelte guy. Oh man! And then so after that, it was the 6-man tag, and then Mox versus Janela, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so weird that there's not just filler in between.
No, there's no filler.
That 6-man tag. What can you even say about it?
It was awesome.
The Bucks came out looking like Ken and Ryu. Cool.
Yeah.
I had to explain to my parents those are Street Fighter references.
They look great. Like, I would want them to wear that all the time.
Yeah. But if you don't know what's going on, Kenny Omega looked like Little Orphan Annie.
So,
Let's talk about this bald spot.
oh my God. Jose was brutal towards Nick Jackson's receding hairline.
I couldn't stop looking at it. It was funny because he had the headband on and he looked like he was in his 20s. And then once the headband came off, he looked like he was fucking 55.
He is still like a baby-face looking dude. That's the thing with the Young Bucks gimmick, is they still look like kids. They still have kiddie faces. But yeah, once Jose noticed it and pointed it out, I couldn't stop seeing Nick Jackson's receding hairline and bald spot hiding through his long, luxurious hair.
The other guy, strong hair.
And that's the crazy thing, is that Matt's the older of the two. And
Well-
his hair, he has just this thick-ass hair.
He got lucky
Yeah.
because the other brother did not.
I said that he should just go full Hulk Hogan skullet at some point.
Just do it.
But man,
Yeah. He should be Hogan, and the other should be Macho Man or Warrior, and just fucking do it.
nice. And not much you can say about that 6-man tag, because those Bucks and those Lucha Brothers, those
That
boys can
fucking-
go.
Goddamn butt sex logo and that flip off the turnbuckle that he did out there.
Oh, you're talking about Jungle Boy again?
Yeah. Otherwise
Butt
known
sex
as
logo?
butt stuff logo.
The Jungle Boy logo, which looks like Jungle Boy crouched in front of like a silverback gorilla, on the big screen and in 3D, Jose thought it looked like a weird sex thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you look at it and prove me wrong.
J-Pop in the chat says, every time you see Nick Jackson when he isn't in the ring, he's wearing a hat. And I get that.
Oh yeah.
I get it.
Well, stop wearing hats. That's what you're doing it to yourself. Hello?
Yeah. No, we're still here.
I said it, and then everything went silent.
No, it got too real.
Well, I
Did I
just got a
break it?
message from Mahoney. I'm sending him a link trying to get him on the call, and he says picture is frozen. I'm like, what? I don't understand. And I guess he's still at the movies, and he just sent me a photo of the credits rolling, and they aren't rolling anymore because apparently they're frozen. I don't know if he's seeing Spider-Man again or what. But yeah, he saw Endgame and Spider-Man last night back to back. So I was hoping to get his takes. And man, all those guys are good. Kenny Omega, like, I'm not the biggest Kenny Omega fan, but I can't deny that he's amazing in the ring. He's got a little bit of a dirtbag face, but he's amazing in the ring. And he seems like a sweet boy. And then, man, God bless Joey Janela, who goes from the pre-show at Double or Nothing to the main event at Fyter Fest. And I couldn't be prouder of our young New Jersey boy. Rocking my Janela shirt. Me and one other guy kept, like, yelling positive affirmations to Joey Janela throughout the match. And trying to start, Joey Janela chants and whatnot. And just like All In, by the end of the match, everybody's a fan of Joey Janela because he goes hard. That ladder bump off the ladder onto the table felt like one of the highest ladder bumps I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, it was nasty.
You say it was nasty, but it was also beautiful.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
Just the barbed wire and the thumbtacks, and Moxley took Joey's shoes off at one point and dropped him in the thumbtacks. Like, that's fucking sick.
Did you see the picture of Mox's back?
Yeah, it wasn't half bad.
He was still cut up pretty good though.
Yeah, he was. And we're talking to the match. I'm like, man, I would gimmick the fuck out of thumbtacks and barbed wire. Like, with barbed wire, you don't actually have to have any barbs on it whatsoever. If you really want to be safe, just put a bunch of wire on there. It'll be fine. And with thumbtacks, I would keep a couple real thumbtacks in there, but the rest would just be like silver circle. Yeah, exactly. Because they would end up sticking to your sweaty body. Mm-hmm. Speaking of sweaty bodies, Moxley is in incredible shape. Joey Janela has gotten
That's not juice, right? He's legit or what?
Oh, I highly doubt it.
Highly doubt he's
on the
juice.
I highly doubt he's on the juice. Joey Janela has improved his physique tenfold, but you put him
had to. He was a little flabby.
Well, I mean, he still is. He's got that skinny fat body, and up next to Moxley, he looks real fucking soft. But still, like that's just his body type. We just got to deal with it. He is a New Jersey dirtbag, and he should look as such. But man, fucking. All the matches were fun, entertaining. Everybody seemed to have a good time, went home happy. Like, how hard is that, WWE? To make people not regret putting their time and money into something and sending them home, even if you're not sending them home happy, sending them home...
Not angry.
Yes, not angry. Like, you could send them home shocked or whatever, or confused, but not, like, don't...
Not disgruntled.
Yeah, that is exactly the word. Disgruntled. Oh, so I told the story about way back when me and Mary went to an NXT show, and there was this dickhead in front of us who was counting every time he got a chant started in the arena. I believe it was during the Cody match.
Yeah.
I started an AEW chant, and it made its way through the entire arena. And I turned to Mary, and I just start pointing at myself. Like, I did that. And she's like, don't be that guy. And I just fucking laughed. I did start.
Started counting.
I did start a couple more chants, but you know,
Nice.
I don't count. I don't count them. I'm not that type of guy. No. It's cool though. Fucking the community of it all.
Yeah, and the standing room only was pretty sweet too. So it was almost like you could have just bought a seat anywhere. And you know, sometimes they try to keep it going, keep it flowing.
Right.
But sometimes it was just packed. Everybody was there.
Yeah.
Everybody was standing there. It was good shit.
Like
good, very fun, good jokes, a lot of laughing, like the crowd all at once, ha-haing, like whoas, and just it was like not the largest wrestling crowd I've ever been into.
Sure.
And definitely not the largest wrestling crowd Moxley has ever stood on the top rope and looked out to.
Right.
But the energy matched any stadium.
I 100% agree.
Was
Yeah.
doing. If you take that same thing and multiply it to equal what the size WWE is, they're going to fuck them up.
It felt like 20,000 people in there. And that's not to say, you know, it was a smaller venue, but it was full for the most part. Besides,
it was packed when it needed to be.
Yeah. It was
There
kind
was
of
some
it was
take
a
a
weird,
break.
it was a weird venue because it's not a bowl. It's not an oval of seats. It's just straight rows of seats along the walls. So, like,
Definitely the shittiest parking.
yeah, the parking was not great. But yeah, Mary and I would have had a great time on our own, but it was so nice to have Jose along for the trip. And man, he is a superstar when you get him out in public, guys.
Well, if you give me a chance to shout dumb shit at people and like it's cool, I'm in.
Yeah.
That you should see me at hockey games.
Hockey games.
Oh yeah, so at the end of the fucking Moxley, I look at him and I was like, "Oh shit!" So he used to be Roman Reigns, huh? Oh, like a little cherry on the top.
And then the man shook your hand and said, "Good to know you, sir. Much respect." So yeah, that was great. So
It was fun.
What else is going on with you this week, Jose?
Finally got the house almost like good, like to where we could have people over. It's not. There's still a little clutter of stuff that we have planned. They're going somewhere.
Man, we've lived here for 2.5 years and there's still clutter. So
yeah, but I want the shit out or gone.
I get it.
You know what I mean? We waited this long. I'm not gonna. Let's put it out or let's get rid of it. One of the two. What are we doing? And we're almost there, so that's cool. Almost. I had a scare. I got a hero's wall and I got a villain's wall. And on the hero's wall, I got it's a framed. It's a mishmash of 3 different things. It's one crow drawn picture. It's one crow, like of Brandon Lee as the crow. And then it's one part comic book crow from James O'Barr from a convention that I got him to sign.
From
then,
Chicago Comic-Con 2009.
Shout out. And then the border of the frame, I had the movie cards that came out.
The trading cards,
yeah, the trading cards. So in order on the sides of the frames, I put it in the order of the movie. So if you look at the cards, top to bottom, it tells the story of the movie. So it's in a nice wooden frame, but I swapped out the heavy glass for a really light plastic, which was a good call because that fucker came tumbling. I'm sitting here, and I'm in the office, and I keep hearing like
Like ripping?
Yeah. I'm
Oh,
like,
no.
what the fuck is that? And it starts to go, and I scream, no! And I go to fucking catch it. Oops, no names comes running in. You all right? And just shit everywhere. All my fucking figures on the ground. Hit the crow statue. Bent the sword, but did not break it. Knocked the hand off that holds the shotgun, but did not break it. That hand's tough. That shotgun's got some humph.
Oh, the sword to your crow statue?
Yeah, because the frame landed on the statue.
Oh my!
And hit the shelf, so it knocked off like half the shelf. I got lucky because I had a Roger Waters The Wall coffee cup that I got at something that may or may not come up later.
You went to Roger Waters' house?
Yeah, I got a kink where I go to musicians' houses and I steal their coffee cups.
Where the fuck
And
are all
I
my
hang
coffee
them on my
cups?
wall and hope a picture frame doesn't break them. So it's.
Do you like jerk off when you look at him?
Kelly, that is inappropriate.
Well, technically, it's looking at me while I'm jerking off.
Oh, okay.
True. Yeah.
Um,
RoboCop's seen some shit in my office. Isn't that right, Murphy?
Yeah.
Girl me.
Mrs. No Names gave me a little shit because I came in this office and it's just drill hole. Neat, 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 neat. And I'm putting up fucking everything I ever wanted to put up. I'm fucking nailing to the wall. I'm screwing it.
Well, yeah, we're helping move him in, and he takes these cardboard Joker heads and he's nailing them in the back of his door, and then he uses sticky tack to hang this fucking frame on the wall.
But it was a light frame, and it was but here's the problem the frame itself doesn't have something. So like to hang, I need to go get some hooks and screw them to the back of the frame. That's the problem. Or I would have done it right the first time. So I was like, well, this should hold. It's those fucking thingy things. But the two things that I tried to get away with not screwing in the wall both fell. My dry erase board fell and my crow.
Oh,
so,
man.
No more excuses. I'm drilling fucking everything.
Well, see, I'm of the mind where I'll put a damn hole in the wall because I could fill that shit up, throw some paint over it, no problem. Yeah. But the door, the door you can still patch, but it's not as easy as a wall.
No.
Yeah, it is. They won't fucking know. You patch it, you match the color paint at fucking Lowe's. I know they can do it.
Yeah,
I've
but
done
with a wall, you can kind of hide it within the texture of the wall.
There was already holes on this motherfucker. I took pictures. I'll say no, that shit was there. I got pictures of it. Check it out.
I took this right before I started making holes.
This is how I look at it, dude. Okay, they charged me $500. Spread $500 over a 13-month period. I'll pay that to fucking hang whatever the fuck I want. I'm in. Let's do it.
No, you're not paying a goddamn dime. We're filling all those holes, homie.
Oh, I'm gonna fill the holes. I'm gonna cover them up. Like I'm not gonna tell them, hey, I put holes in your shit, but I'm not gonna fess up to it. Say what? I don't even live here. That's not even my name. Remember when I signed the lease and I said suckers? I was honest. That is not me.
That's great, man. Looking forward to getting a powwow down sometime soon. I got the car tomorrow, so I might swing by.
Yeah, so now I get to have people over, so that's kind of cool. It's been a while since I've been able to be able to entertain.
He's been taunting me with all of his fucking No Mercy belts.
I'm not taunting. I'm just putting up the belts that I have acquired over my career. That's all I'm doing. I mean, if you take it as a taunt, come do something. Come get it. But I'm just saying, I'm just putting up what I got.
He says to me, or like I say, I'm coming for one of those belts, and he says, bring it, motherfucker. Let's figure out how to record this shit. So I actually have a tab open on how to record and stream Nintendo 64 games. So.
Oh, we're getting that Twitch channel going.
Yeah.
Well,
let's fucking do it.
Jose plays Doki Doki Literature Club coming soon.
I'm in. I'll fucking find somebody's underwears and bang a duck.
Oh, you can teach a duck to speak Russian.
Well, that's what it is, right?
Yeah.
Yakuza duck fuck.
Yes.
What's up, Kelly?
Two?
What's happening?
So I've been playing a new Japan shit game.
Nice.
So Judgment has released and is the newest game by the studio that made all the Yakuza games.
Duck Judgment Call.
Yes, and in this one you are playing a private detective in the world of Yakuza. So it's a spin-off. The main characters aren't there, but you're in the same setting. And it's basically just a Yakuza game, but with detective shit thrown in. One of the new mechanics that they have is you can like chase down people. So it'll go into a chase sequence where you have to like time button presses and make movements so you don't trip over people and that kind of stuff. And the best chase scene so far is I had to chase down a dude's wig after the wind blew it off. So you're just sprinting down the streets, chasing after this wig, jumping over like trash cans and shit until you get close enough to catch it.
It sounds more like a Benny Hill game than a Yakuza game.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's good so far. One of the new mechanics is that you can get girlfriends.
Oh man.
Haven't gotten one yet, but there's 4 available. So you could better bet your butt I'm getting all 4.
You see, I'm gonna get laid so hard. Bring it, 4 chicks.
Yep. And a big part of this game is you have to become friends with everyone in town. So you like, it's basically like, go to this store and buy things and give this girl advice on her cooking. And then you make a bunch of friends, and then that opens up more cases for you to take and that kind of stuff. One of my friends that I made this morning is a ninja from America. And the entire time you're talking to him, you're like,
wait,
dude, what
ninja
the fuck?
from America or ninja named Erica?
No, ninja from America.
Okay. I'm just getting my stories in my head straight. 2 different
And
scenarios.
The entire time you're just like, white boy, what's wrong with you? Why you keep calling yourself ninja? But now,
what's happening, Erica?
Now whenever I get into fights on the streets, he shows up dressed in his ninja costume, swording the shit out of dudes. So that makes my life easier. And I just found him climbing up the side of a wall. Had to fly my drone in to make sure he was a person. Because yes, you get a drone.
You a person, Erica?
I keep thinking I need to play some more Spider-Man.
Spider-Man's a good time.
I haven't played it. It's good, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's a good
it's
time.
fun. I just haven't gotten very far at all.
Ooh, you should bring it over one day.
You have a PS4?
No, I don't. That was part 2 of the story. Bring over your PS4.
How about you come over?
Yeah. Oh, and then I'm gonna get into some real deep Japan shit after a purchase I made today.
Okay.
So I pre-ordered a game. I've told you guys about the Senran Kagura games, where the bigger a woman's boobs are, the stronger she is at fighting, right?
That kind of sounds familiar.
That's just
you don't really forget that.
That's just
So,
physics.
There's a new one coming out that it was in, like, I was just going through Switch games that were coming out on Amazon, and I saw there's a new one coming out, so I'm like, let's see what they're doing with
This is on the Switch, huh?
Yeah. This one's a pinball game. So I pre-ordered that because I do love pinball.
So what can I call them?
Tits?
Am I allowed to call them tits?
No. Tits is perfectly fine.
Yeah.
I just know if
can
you
we not use jugs anymore?
No, you can call them jugs too. Like, this is a safe space.
Who's
Jose.
the boo police? Who says what I'm not allowed to call them?
I'm sure in different company, tits or jugs would not be acceptable, but it is acceptable here. If anyone objects.
Well, I call them
please.
that with all due respect. But when you
Yeah.
say jugs, there's a certain type of size that goes along with
Yeah,
that.
and in this game, they're
absolutely.
jugs. They're jugs
Absolutely.
in this game.
Yeah, jugs. I more think of like I don't think I would ever talk about woman's boobs as check out her jugs, but I would talk about that as like
A fictional character.
like a character. Yeah, like
Yeah.
look at the fucking jugs on April O'Neil. Examples. I'm just throwing.
Oh my
things out.
god, we're making so many great intro bites.
I'm just saying. So so for the record, when I state of jugs, I am talking characters.
Yeah.
It's funny that you say that because apparently Lil Nas X has come out as either gay or bisexual or both
And
or
who is
neither.
this?
He's the Old Town Road kid.
What's Old Town Road?
You haven't heard Old Town Road?
I don't know.
Oh, we're gonna have to work
You
on this.
probably have.
But there's a line in the song that talks about boobies on my back, and I always found that really weird. And then when it came out that he might be gay, I was like, okay, that makes sense now. It makes sense why he called them boobies.
Oh. Balls.
No. I just mean like straight dudes don't call them boobies.
Okay. I thought
Or
boobies
why
was-
why they're on his back.
Right.
either.
Well, yeah.
Well, I mean, she would
That's
be
what I'm saying.
riding
Boobies,
behind him.
metaphor. Boobies, balls. You can't
No,
call them balls. You can't say balls on my back. Nobody's listening to the song the same way.
no, but people are assuming that horse doesn't necessarily mean horse.
What horse?
It's Old Town Road, and he's talking about riding his horse all day.
Oh, he's talking about riding a horse. He's just talking about riding a stallion.
Right. Good for that kid, man.
Yeah, ride your stallions to the fucking sunset. Hey, man, you want to fucking do ding dong, do ding dong. You do you.
Oh, but guys, just so you know, the pinball game, the features
Oh,
and
no,
details on Amazon says more than just pinball. The fan favorite intimacy mode, diorama mode, and dressing room are all here, along with 10 new unlockable challenges.
Yeah, that sounds like you're going to see some jugs.
Yeah, I'll report back and let you guys know how this goes. I just came for some real pinball fun, and I'm feeling very attacked.
Like, I wouldn't consider jugs just a word used for fictional characters because, like, some of those, what was it?
Tickle bitties?
It was the hentai con that Zero pointed us out to, and we found a couple of those guests that went to hentai con. Like, those are jugs. Those are
Well, yeah, but
no,
still, they're displaying them as a character.
they are kind of playing
You know
up
what I
a
mean?
character.
Like you're not
yeah.
seeing those people in normal clothes. You're seeing them as a character who they're portraying a character that has jugs.
God bless. What's the one's name? Bunny something.
Yeah, Bunny
Judge McHugh.
Ayumi.
Bunny Ayumi. Yeah. Her stuff is ridiculous. There's the one picture that she posted recently where she's wearing like a bikini and then she's like pulling her jugs up as if she was trying to dry off her underboob sweat. Some of those pictures are just so ridiculous, but God.
Just trying to dry off.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
My jugs are just a little sweaty.
Didn't know you were looking. Oops. Didn't see you there. Sorry. Don't want you to see this little boob sweat. Let me get it. Dab, dab, dab.
Oh my God. I bet she could dab that off and then sell it for $50.
Who
God,
says
yeah.
it's not for sale?
I'm not
I
saying
bet
it is.
that's a Patreon stretch goal right
Fuck
there.
yeah.
Sure.
Oh, talk about stretch.
What?
So hold them suckers in.
Think anyone would want our like ball sweat for Patreon?
I mean,
No,
only one
no.
way to find out, really. But what would you
Yeah.
put it on?
Just a napkin.
Ooh, no, we should do it like those cologne ads in the magazines.
Oh,
The scratch and sniff little inserts.
yeah.
That's disgusting. I want no
Doesn't mean
part
it-
of this.
Doesn't mean it's not genius.
Yeah. Look, Knize. Jose and I are gonna rub our balls on a bunch of stuff. And we're gonna make a lot of money.
Yeah. Don't be trying to get in later. Like it.
Yeah.
You gotta get in on the ground floor with this one.
Disgusting.
I mean, we'll invite Lee too, but
Well, yeah. Just because he's not here currently doesn't mean he's out. He gets the option to turn it down or not.
yeah.
And it doesn't have to be ball sweat. Sweat.
Yeah. I mean, we can just tell them it's from our balls.
Oh my
Well,
god!
no. I'm saying, why limit it to just balls?
If we're
Oh,
just
okay.
doing sweat, man, like let's go. Like I
That's what I'm
could.
saying. It could be legit, like, it can be themed.
We can just bottle it.
We went
Fyter
to
Fest sweat.
we went to Firehouse Subs before we headed out to Daytona, and we walk up to the counter, and the guy says to me, "Would you guys just come from the gym?" because
Get a
of
sweet workout on, bro.
because of the towel on my shoulder.
Sorry. Saw the towel there. Thought you were coming from the gym.
yeah, just totally coming from the gym, man, and
I like to just ask strangers if they came from the gym. All the
Yeah,
time.
real weird question. And that's when I also got a free medium sub because it was my birthday, and when I put in my phone number and it, gave me the free sub, he was like, "Oh, it's your birthday. How old are you today?" I said, 28.
And he said, "All right, gym bro."
Fantastic. All right, you got anything else, Kelly, or are we ready to move on a little bit?
I think I'm good.
Okay. We have postponed this for a few weeks, and it's been a while since we heard this, so let's do that.
Look at all this fan mail.
Okay, not technically an email, but this was in our Facebook inbox, care of new population superstar Eric Magnus, who, when we talked top 6 Japan shit, and he made a comment, I believe, in the chat about his time in Thailand, and we were joking about we need Eric Magnus's top 6 Thailand stories. So, yeah, he dropped it in our inbox. So this isn't necessarily a top 6, but I'm going to read the message here from Eric Magnus. So he says, "This would be a long post, so I understand it would take too much time to read on air, but you guys can read it amongst yourselves or put it in the chat. Someone in the chat last week suggested I do a top 6 Thailand. That would be really long, especially since I've been there twice, so I'll just tell one experience." For those listening, reminder, Eric Magnus was in the Navy, so he's done a bunch of traveling. He continues, "I had just gotten a soapy, S-O-A-P-I-E. We'll come back to that. I can explain that if you guys want later. And as
did I predict what that was?
I feel like you did, but I don't know if you nailed it entirely, but you were pretty damn close. As we were driving, traffic came to a halt, and I turned to my left to see a bunch of fine-ass women dancing on a pole. So I told my driver to stop the car, and before he could come to a complete stop, I was out of the car, and all I heard him say was, no, my friend, that's a lady." I didn't hear the rest, so I sat down in the bar and noticed that everyone in there was looking at me as if I had walked into a country western bar, except the music didn't stop. The woman playing pool stopped mid-shot staring at me. The woman on the pole stopped dancing mid-dance. And all of a sudden, this woman walked up to me and said, "Your driver wants to know if you know what kind of bar this is." I looked around and said, "Yeah, it's a bar full of fine-ass women." She said, "Okay," and she told the driver. I said, "Pick me up in 2 hours." The woman dancing on the pole pointed to her, then pointed to me, and then pointed to upstairs. I looked around because I didn't think she was talking to me. So she did it again, and I looked around again. Then she pointed to me and said, "Yes, you!" And I said, "Hell yeah." She came and sat down with me and started talking to me. She looked exactly like Kim Kardashian. And she asked me what I was doing there. And I asked, "Why does everyone keep asking me that?" And she said, "Because every girl here is a ladyboy." And I said, "Get the fuck out of here. No, you're not." And she put my hand on her chest and said, "See?" And I said, "Anyone can get implants." And she stood up and lifted up her dress. And I immediately realized what the driver said earlier was that, no, my friend, that this is a ladyboy bar. Now, what fucked me up was as we were talking and her best friend sat down with us, and within a few minutes, they both got up, ran out the bar, and started kicking the shit out of this American guy who was getting stomped on by the rest of the ladyboy in the bar. So I figured he must have deserved it. I'm not stepping in. I saw that guy on the boat. Oh, I saw that guy on the boat a few days later.
Oh.
And I noticed he had 2 black eyes, so I figured they must have told him twice. So, I mean, I feel like we all knew what the ending to that story was within the first, 2 lines. But still, good story.
Yeah, you have to hear how it plays out.
So I say, okay, what's a soapy? And Eric Magnus continues, it's a massage parlor where they bathe you, then bathe you with their body. If you've seen Rush Hour 2, it's sort of like that setting when they pulled the curtain back and all you saw was women behind the panel. So, like, they, slide all over you with their naked, oily body, I assume.
Yeah.
I'm into it. A lot of porn lately is, leaning on the massage angle, I've noticed. I'm just getting a massage. Oh.
Step kids are out. Massages are in.
Oh no, step kids are here to stay. Hey, it's all fiction. Come on. So that's cool. Thank you, Eric Magnus, for that. I look forward to more Eric Magnus traveling the world stories that will come up as, they'll come up organically, I'm sure. So let us take a quick break, and we will come back with our top 6 concerts. The Popcast Classic for this week was actually recommended by Kristen Allen, who was listening to an old show today from July 27th, 2016, from episode 346 of the Popcast. This is the episode the week after the 2016 Republican National Convention. So,
oh no,
enjoy.
Break. I got nothing else. What's going on, Knize?
Watched the dumpster fire of the Republican National Convention all last week, which was
I couldn't. I fucking couldn't.
I couldn't either.
Soul crushing, to say the least. Just like it put the fucking fear in my heart. Not like the fear of Muslims coming to take my guns or my jobs or anything like that, but the fear of, like, we're close to having President Trump. And on one hand, I'm terrified of it, and then on the other hand, I'm like, what could happen? Really, it's like a roll of the dice at this point. Like, it's not a guarantee that if Trump becomes president that we're going to dive straight into an apocalypse. It's likely.
Yeah,
it could happen.
I read an excerpt of an interview with the dude that owns New Japan, and that guy is fucking worried if Trump wins.
It is worrisome.
He said he's watching things carefully, and he is afraid about what will happen to the rest of the world if Trump wins.
That's the thing. Like, it's like when the UK left the EU of last month. That had ramifications reaching far past the UK. It's a global stage, and I do not believe the world will react well to that, man.
And not to mention that the pound is now the currently worst performing currency because of that.
Right. Yeah. I just the stuff that I saw, reading on Twitter and news, and I watched the stuff on Last Week Tonight. That was enough for me to know that I don't need to watch any more of that. I looked at the clip online yesterday, and I was watching with Nicole on the TV, and I said, "Fuck, man, that is." Just look at all those old white people.
Yeah. I watched that entire 90-minute Trump speech where I tweeted essentially that he towards the end of it he was sweating like he was getting towards the end of a 90-minute hard poop. Where you got that hard poop in you, and like, it's not like you can't poop, but it's, you have to poop, and you have to force it out, and you're there for a while. That's what it seemed like.
Get the sweats.
That poop flop sweats.
Yeah. Just getting strawberry and sweaty, and is just yelling at us the entire time. I wasn't into it, but I watched it to see if there was anything of substance, if there was anything different from what we had seen so far in the past year, and the answer is no. The answer is clearly no. There's nothing different. He has
like, has he ever yet? Like, has he yet even one time like said this is a thing I want to do? Like, is he to the point where he's actually dropping some science?
Yeah, he wants to build a wall.
Other than that,
he wants to build
He
a
wants
wall.
he wants to make.
Yeah.
He wants to make America great again.
Yeah, he wants to build a wall. He wants to stop immigration. He wants to get rid of Obamacare. And he wants to fuck his adult daughter. Oh my god.
Feel like you nailed a lot of things there.
Yeah. I mean, it hasn't changed much. And what of that has he actually accomplished?
Hasn't banged his daughter, that's for sure.
Well,
no, you do not know that.
I feel like he'd be a lot less angry about things if he had.
Or maybe that's why he is angry, because now that he finally, like, she was not good in bed.
That could be.
And now he's just so butthurt.
Yeah, I bet Trump watches a very specific type of porno.
Yeah, I didn't get a good soapy out of Ivanka.
There is one porn actress who I've discovered in my research over the years.
That look just like Trump?
Looks... Yes, but Ivanka Trump. Her name is...
Okay. We're so demonetized now.
Her name, I believe it... Yeah, Blair Williams. She's got that...
She's great.
You know her?
Come on.
She's got a very Ivanka look about her. I'm surprised they haven't like gone all the way with it and just had her be Ivanka in a porno.
That's not saying it hasn't. I think that does exist. It's just not
her.
Not her, but that concept is there.
Right.
Not that I've seen it. I mean, I'm speculation.
No names.
Yeah, no names.
Sheila, who was in the chat tonight, posted a link on our population. No, actually, it was the Panels on Pages Facebook page. We were talking about top 6 beverages last week, and she linked to an article as to it was from Reader's Digest, as to why Coke tastes better at McDonald's than anywhere else, and it goes over some of the reasons, which are they ship it to the restaurants in stainless steel tanks, and then they chill it at every step of the game. So they keep it in a cooler, and then the tubes are also chilled, so the soda machine isn't having to cool it at all. It's already cold coming out, and keeping it cold also helps with the carbonation. Cold water is better for accepting the carbonation. So, real interesting read if you're wondering why Fountain Coke at McDonald's is so iconic. So thank you to Sheila for that. And then this week we're talking top 6 concerts, which me and Jose specifically, I knew we'd be able to fill this list out. No issue
hard
whatsoever.
Part is which ones do I not want to
put
on here?
And I figured concerts are enough of a broad, all-encompassing thing that even if you're not a huge music fan, you've at least gone to like 6 concerts in your life. Little did I know I was really hedging my bets on our community as far as being, concert goers, and apparently that was not the case. You get a bunch of geeks and comic book nerds and such, and yeah, not big on the going out in public and going to a concert crowd. So I get that, but we still got a lot of good responses.
I don't like loud noises.
Right, yeah. Yeah, like concerts in general are the opposite of the place that our people want to go. And J-Pop in the chat says, "You were fucking wrong, Knize. I am a goddamn hermit." Except for when you hit Kelly up at Lost World of Wonders today.
Yeah. Now, how crazy would it be if it wasn't him and it was just some fucking dude just like, yeah, that's I'm J-Pop.
Taking J-Pop's shine. That's funny.
Yeah.
So, yeah, a lot of people made sure to participate, but by saying, yeah, I'm not a big concert person, including...
Dude, me too.
Including Kelly. And Kelly's going to start us off this week.
All right. Yeah, no, I'm just not a big concert guy. Like, I don't know. I like music. I don't need to go see it performed, though. Like, it just doesn't connect with me much. So I've been to a few. Number 5 and number 6 are related. Number 6 is Crew Fest. This was Motley Crue tried their hand at a kind of festival thing. It was a good time. It was 5 acts. One of them was Buck Cherry, and they were terrible.
Oh my god,
Buck Cherry!
You crazy bitch!
Yeah, they were real bad. 6 a.m. was very good. Papa Roach is one of the best live bands I've ever seen.
Papa Roach?
I had a fucking opposite story for you then.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, no.
We'll talk about it.
I saw they were great live.
We've enjoyed them live, but we'll get to it. We'll get to it.
Another one of the openers on that was Trapped, so you got to hear them do that one song, so that was cool.
Back off, I'll take you on!
Exactly. Every indie wrestler's theme in 2003. And then Motley Crue, of course, was on there, and they did good, too. Number 5 is the time I saw Motley Crue on their final tour.
Kelly, what is with Motley Crue?
I like them.
You're just a big Crue fan?
I am.
Is it
fucking
does it
Crue head?
Does it
Never
what does it stem from? Like, is it a family thing, or you've just always liked Motley Crue?
I mean, I've always been raised on that kind of music.
Okay. Because I know your family is what got you into wrestling, so I was wondering if it was the same with Motley Crue.
Yeah, no. They're the ones that got me into this kind of music too. And
also, like a Motley Crue crowd and a wrestling crowd, you know,
not very different.
Yeah, the Venn diagram's a circle.
Did you watch
but
Dirt
they're
on
I
Netflix?
have not seen it yet.
Did you watch it?
I didn't either. I was just wondering.
My mom liked it. She thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, I need to watch that too.
But yeah, the last time I saw them, they were really good. You could definitely tell they were trying since it was their last tour, and you can't always say that with Vince Neil.
Nah,
because half the time he sings like half the words.
Yeah, and he gets real fat sometimes.
Yeah, he does. And it was. You could also tell they stopped touring because Mick Mars can't move.
Oh yeah, he is a walking mummy at this point.
He can still play like a motherfucker, but dude cannot move across the stage. He's stationary the whole time.
Juggalo John in the chat says, well, I learned that Kelly's mom is fucking metal.
Oh, yeah, no, my mom rules.
I bet.
Number 4, my first concert that I ever went to, which was the day before I went into 8th grade. I saw Disturbed.
Nice.
That was cool.
Yeah, I've seen, yeah.
And we were in their fan club, so we got to meet them before the show.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, they were super cool.
Ooh.
That was right when they got the new bassist, so you could tell he was trying really hard to be nice to everyone.
Sure.
So he was really cool.
Jose and I both have seen Disturbed a handful of times, and they've always put on a good show.
Oh yeah, no, they're a great show.
Disturbed in Slipknot, we saw.
Was that Ozfest?
No. They were on tour together.
No. I think you're thinking of Disturbed and Korn.
Well, no, that was Disturbed and Korn that was the one that had the Sick and Twisted animated little things that they were showing in between.
See, okay, I don't know if I went to that show.
It was Slipknot with fucking Disturbed opening.
Yeah, I don't think I was at that show.
They had the black suits with the black suits, red armbands, the fire. They had fire shooting up. I think it was what was the video where it was all close-ups? None of them had the mask on, but they never showed their face.
Before I Forget.
Yeah, I think it was that album, that tour. That's a fucking great music video.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, no, that's a good video.
Day before 8th grade, rocking out to some Disturbed. That's fantastic.
Yep. I can't remember if it was this show or the second time I saw him, but one of the times that I saw him, they had Skindred as one of the opening bands, and they were fucking great.
Skindred before
Skindred
Korn.
and Korn.
Yeah.
Nice.
Fucking hard rock.
Oh my god.
Pepsi Jinx.
Number 3. I didn't see much of it. I didn't plan to go to this. But I'm gonna go with that Idol Gundam concert that Idol concert I watched at the Legs of a Gundam in Japan. Because that's just a story.
Yeah, that counts. I'm surprised that's not number 1.
Number 1 is also tied to robots. It is both of the times I saw Captured by Robots.
I remember you telling us about those guys.
Yeah, the hardcore band that is a dude and his 2 robots. Fucking just insane experiences both times. The first time was the Trippin' Balls tour, so that was extra weird because he had the other, I think they were bears or gorillas, gorilla robots that would talk through the whole thing. So that was weird. The second time around was in support of their new album, which is like one of the very few they've released, which is called Endless Cycle of Bullshit, which is a very good album. If you're a hardcore fan, I highly recommend checking it out.
Yeah, I think I distinctly remembered you talking about the Death by Robots. Is that what it was called? Death by Robots?
Captured by
Robots.
Because the whole gimmick is that he's been enslaved by these robots.
Yes. So I think in the back of my head, I was like, yeah, Kelly's a concert guy. Come on.
Yeah, no, those are that's the last time I've seen a concert in a few years.
Oh.
It's just, I don't know. I'm not a big concert guy.
He doesn't like concerts so much. His top is an accident.
Yeah. I like sitting.
Yeah, I mean, concerts are a young man's game.
Yeah, and I don't like people touching me.
Or a rich man's game.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no shit. With prices nowadays?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Because
I feel like at concerts, you're both standing and being touched.
I really enjoyed both Billy Joel and Elton John, but I wouldn't put those as either of my top 6 because we were just so far away. Because that shit was expensive.
In context, like, you didn't see him on the Yellow Brick Road tour. You saw him on the Goodbye tour.
Yeah.
So it's completely different Eltons.
Absolutely. Well, cool. Thank you, Kelly, for that. Let's go through. We've got in the population group on Facebook, Whitworth, Jerry Whitworth says, I've only ever been to one, therefore it was both my best and worst. And he links a video to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Coming Out of Their Shells tour, which...
That's a hell of a one.
Which I also saw live. I remember, saw that, I think it was at the Airy Crown Theater in Chicago. It might have been at McCormick Place, I don't know. But I remember we were like 4th or 5th row. It was the peak of the Ninja Turtles. And I remember there were 5 empty seats next to us in the crowd for a good portion of the show. So my little mind started going. I was like, oh, man, the Turtles and Splinter are going to come out here and sit while April does a song. They didn't. But, man, that was my life back then. Pretty terrible in retrospect, but God, what a huge deal that was. And then Joe Wang also responds in the population group. He says, most of his concert experiences have come out of me watching the DVD or cam footage during my month of recovery when I broke my feet. Oh, my God, he broke both of his feet.
That sounds awful.
Broke your feetsies? You Joey Janela it?
So he also provided a bunch of YouTube links with each one because he loves us. In no specific order, Blind Melon at Woodstock 94. Goddamn, do I love Shannon Hoon in this concert. You can tell how much he just loved playing music, R.I.P. I was listening to like a 90s alternative station on Alexa the other day. No, bitch. She didn't hear me. We've had to start spelling her name like she's a 6-year-old.
Jesus.
And like
Christ.
a Blind Melon song
listening.
came on randomly that wasn't No Rain, and I could recognize Shannon Hoon's voice, and I was like, "Is this a fucking Blind Melon song?" Alexa, who sings this? And it was Blind Melon. Next, he's got Mindless Self-Indulgence. Calm down, Knize. Calm down.
It's gonna be okay.
You think your Alexa can hear me?
No. I got
Alexa, play Blair Williams real loud.
Mindless Self-Indulgence. Our Pain, Your Gain, 2005. This is cheating. Technically, it was 3 shows tied together and re-edited, but the manic energy and love from the crowd, you could tell everyone got their money's worth. I mean, it's all kind of cheating, isn't it, Joe Wang? But it's fine. We'll let it slide. Bob Marley at Santa Barbara County Bowl in 1979. Not one of his best concerts. The first 11 or 12 minutes, you could tell they were struggling. But when he hits I Shot the Sheriff, you can see why people want to go back in time to see him live. Yeah, that would be awesome. Tim Barry, Saint Vitus, 2015. Basically just Tim and his guitar for an hour. He's not for everyone, but he's got this pissed off sound, and all his songs come from the heart. The Hot 107.9 Birthday Bash, 2006. The Pimp C set. Okay, I love this whole concert, but Pimp C's set was amazing. I was one of those white boys wearing the free Pimp C shirts at every concert, and his skill on the mic was why UGK for life. And then lastly, Cowboy Mouth, New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival 2016. And finally, a local band, Cowboy Mouth. These guys have been touring since the early 90s and give a great show every fucking time. This one was no different.
That sounds like a real bad disease.
What, Cowboy Mouth?
Yeah, I recognize the name.
I do as well.
I can't.
You guys got a case of Cowboy Mouth?
Jose, why don't you do me a favor?
Got you a case of the Yeehaws?
Why don't you, since Lee can't be here tonight, why don't you read Lee's list for him?
What?
It sounds like you just called him up in front of the class.
Yeah, I don't even have my homework.
It's in he dropped it in the podcast thread.
Well, doesn't mean I had it open.
I'm sorry.
Okay, hold on.
Here, I just resent it. It's the last one. It's the last one.
I got it open now. Just a little heads up would have been nice. Tell me that during the break.
I'm sorry.
I would have went right into it. We could have transitioned better.
I'm going to throw a couple more at you before this show's over, so be ready.
Well, fuck me, man. Okay, here. We'll edit that part out. Go ahead, throw it to me.
Jose, since Lee's not here tonight, why don't you read his list for him?
Yeah, no shit. I got it right in front of me. Check this out. So, no particular order, I'm guessing. I did not see numbers. I just see the list. Or I'm going to start at the top, work my way to the bottom.
That sounds good. That sounds like the way to go.
That's how I handle my jugs. We got Gambino, 2012. A real I saw him before he was huge thing, which
nice.
High five.
Yeah.
We may or may not be talking about that 2 more times.
Cool.
Off Fest 2001, a bunch of Ozfest bands that year. Saw Linkin Park, Papa Roach, Slipknot, and a bunch of other bands.
Yeah, I think I remember that. Where like on the off days, some of the like the lower tier bands. Yeah.
You guys ever listen to Linkin Park now and just think of like the lyrics to the songs? Like, man, this shit makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, no, completely. You listen to it way different. You hear words and you're like, oh, he wasn't talking about whatever I inserted. He was talking about like, no, I'm out of here. That's fucking nuts.
Speaking of ALEXA, yesterday I
play Blair Williams, Alexa.
Yesterday I asked her to play 2000s alternative music, and literally like 6 out of 10 songs was Linkin Park.
I mean,
I will say this.
It's fine.
The Linkin Park Jay-Z album I was very disappointed in because when I heard they were doing an album, I thought they were going to collab on an album, more like the Kanye West Jay-Z album, where they
Sure.
made music together, not so much we're doing what another DJ already did. Like the DJ did the hard work, we just did it. Like it was cool, the songs are cool, but I would much rather have seen them work together and come up with an album of original material than we're playing our song, he's rapping over it with a song he already made famous. It was all right.
It was more for MTV.
Do better. My opinion. High five, though.
Are we... No, we still got more from Lee's list, right?
Yeah. Hollow Wicked, 2005 or 2006. Not sure what year it was, but it was one of the several ICP shows I saw back in the day, along with Twisted, Vanilla Ice, and a bunch of other groups. Hell of a show. Breaking Benjamin, 2019.
What?
You're going to have to ask him yourself because no explanation is left.
He talked about it like this was obviously it was recently, and he talked about it on the show, and it's like, man, top 6, huh? Breaking Benjamin 2019.
Yeah, like not prime Breaking Benjamin, like yesterday Breaking Benjamin.
I was like Breaking Benjamin because he keeps doing a scary voice.
He's got a weird voice. His voice is like the take it or leave it of Breaking Benjamin. And also, they just look like such vanilla white dudes. Like, grow some dreads or something. Come on. What else we got? Did I lose all of you?
No, I'm here.
No, I'm not. I'm out. That's what I felt the other time. It was like, did my connect... Because I haven't had it much here, but, back at the old place, the connection would drop every now and then. And I wouldn't know, is no one listening to me? Is no one no-selling me? Am I even... Yeah, do you hear me? Am I on mute? Am I even connected to the internet? Am I alive? Is this thing all a dream? I don't know what's going on. Then we got Blue Man Group a couple of times.
What?
Always fun.
What? Lee Rodriguez, Blue Man Group.
Hey, this coming from the guy whose top 6 sauce was popcorn.
Like,
So
I've seen Blue Man Group multiple times, and never was it willingly. And like, it's fun. I mean, I guess it does count as a concert because they are playing music.
Experience. They play music. They have
music.
a song.
Yeah. I take it back.
What's her chick? I mean, it turned into a show, but it's a concert. They just do a nightly residency.
Sure.
And then I'm going to go, this is either number 1, number 6, depending on what side of the coin you are on, but Michael Jackson won. Not a concert per se, but the coolest goddamn thing I've ever seen. And I bet you what, tickets are probably cheap right now.
Probably.
I'm going to go. Because the July trip is the Vegas trip. I stay at the hotel that show is at. Like, they have a big Michael Jackson statue in the lobby to check in. I'm going to see how much tickets are.
Do it, you coward.
Or I'm going to sneak in. I'm going to dress up like a stagehand. I'm going to get in carrying a box like the old days.
All right, Kelly, you got Eric Magnus's list for us?
Sure do.
Cool.
Top
Did he
6
tell you
concerts.
ahead of time?
I did.
Or you just had it? Goddamn.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Fucking
Jose.
sandbag me.
Because we edited out the time that you weren't ready.
I'm talking about a different show.
I figured if I was going to throw any to you off the cuff, I could throw you to Lee's, which was the easiest one to find. Like, it's not like
it is if I'm sitting in front of my computer.
Now you have to edit all this out.
Why aren't you sitting in front of your computer?
Because I don't have to.
Like,
I mean, I have the screen at view, but I have it to like current. I have it to recent for what's happening now, not for what happened at fucking 5 p.m.
What the fuck? Well, I'm sorry. This podcast hosting thing is not my favorite. Kelly.
All right, let's Eric Magnus top 6. Not really a concert guy. I always felt if I have the albums, I don't need the concert.
He says, top 6, not really a concert guy. Here's 1,500 words.
I got this up. He's reading my lines now. What's going on?
Big ups, peace, and shout out to the Backstreet Boys and Bon Jovi concert that I absolutely refuse to go to because do I really need a reason to not go? Yes, Bon Jovi rules. Number 6, The Platters. I saw this concert at the Cotton Club in Tokyo. A girl I met on Tagged online? I don't know. I was talking to had 2 tickets and she asked me to go with her.
Nice.
Number 5, DL Hughley. I've been to Vegas 4 times because we would do 2-week detachments there, and my first trip there, DL performed at our hotel at Sunset Station. It's a concert because Morris Day and the Time opened for them.
That's dope.
That's awesome.
Some of that jungle love.
Did they play Dinosaur?
Number 4, the Kings and Queens of Comedy. My second time in Vegas, the Kings and Queens performed, but strange enough, DL Hughley wasn't there.
My second time watching them do the dinosaurs, though.
Number 3, Sinbad. On Atsugi Base. Sinbad performed. That was where everyone in attendance found out what TiVo was because we couldn't do it there, so we didn't know about that. They didn't even sell them on base. It fucked up his whole act for about a minute because the expression on his face when he realized we didn't know what he was talking about was priceless.
That's funny. Wait, so hold on. Is Eric Magnus a black dude? I mean,
number 2.
That's cool if you are.
The Janet Jackson HBO special.
I mean, come on. The evidence is mounting.
I was stationed in Turkey and the Janet Jackson special came out on DVD. I bought it and me and Johnson, whose nickname was the number 1 perv, watched it every chance we could.
I don't know. I love this guy.
Outside of porn, that was the sexiest thing I had seen in my life. My nickname at the time was Pops, the Prince of Porn, because of how I passed my room inspections and how I hooked up the officers in my command.
Oh my
god. Number 1, the Flo Rida concert. Flo Rida came to Atsugi Base. I didn't know who he was. When I was asking who the hell is Florida, why should I care that he's performing? My girl found out he was performing and asked me to take her, so I had to do it because she never asked anything of me before, so I couldn't say no. The dude showed up a half hour late, and I thought he was 2 different people before he actually showed up. After the concert, my girl, who brought 2 of her friends with her, asked me, "You're going to get me back for this, aren't you?" And I said, "You damn right."
I said you did. Oh yeah, confirmed in the chat. Eric Magnus, black dude. I have a really good gaydar, but my black dar is not so great. In person, I mean, it's flawless.
You'd think.
Is it?
Yeah. I mean,
yeah,
probably 90
no names, but I can name a name and an incident.
Well, I mean,
John Michael.
I mean, I know the incident you're talking about.
Do you?
I knew.
Go ahead and put it in the chat now that I'm paying attention.
I knew he was black. I just picked the wrong black guy. Right? That's what you're talking about, right?
You're adorable.
He looked just like him, though. Come on. Get out of here. That wasn't a case of me being racist. That was a case of 2 black guys looking fucking identical to each other.
This guy.
God bless. All right. Vetter sends us an email, popcast@panelsonpages.com. He says, "Does Nikolai Volkov singing the Russian national anthem count? This is slim.
Yes.
This is slim picking for me, as I have not been to many concerts." All right. Number 6, Super Bowl. He fucking put the Roman numerals in here. Vetter, God damn it. XLVI, which is what? That's 46, maybe? I think I'm right. I think that might be right. So that Super Bowl in Indianapolis, we made the short trip over and checked out the festivities, which included shows by Fuel, which sound like garbage, Bret Michaels, and the Village People.
Fucking Bret Michaels.
We learned the legit way to do the YMCA from the men themselves. Number 5, Festival of the Bells, Hillsboro, Ohio's annual 4th of July concert. I'm not a country fan, but these are free every year, and you get carnival food. And every year, I don't know how they do it, but their guests become megastars the following year. Lady Antebellum, Rascal Flatts, Taylor Swift were all relative unknowns when they performed here. Number 4, Jay-Z and Justin Timberlake, Gentlemen of the Road Tour in Detroit. Not ashamed to admit I enjoyed this show. You shouldn't be. They're both some of the greatest musical artists of our generation. So, Justin Timberlake has that. He was in Sync, so there's that stigma, but he's also one of the greatest performers living. So,
well, Knize got that maybe anti-vaxxer stuff going on, too.
Right. There is that. Number 3, Weird Al, Kings Island in Mason, Ohio. Mary used to work at Kings Island. It's their amusement park up there. This was the first time ever saw my musical idol, and it was as great as you would expect. Weird Al is one of those that's on my bucket list to see before I die. Number 2, Weird Al, this weekend in Cleveland. I will be taking the boy up for his first Al experience. It's the Full Strings Attached tour, complete with the orchestra and all the glitz. And number 1, Weird Al, Columbus, Ohio. A buddy of mine happens to be in the 501st Legion and was performing with Al that night. He was kind enough to let me be their photographer and got me backstage with the icon himself, an experience that is going to be hard to top. That's fucking cool. I like that. Good list. I mean, not a concert guy, but you filled it out pretty easily. I don't know how much of a struggle it was, but all right, Jose, why don't you read one of these lists off of Twitter? No, I'm kidding. Why don't you read your own list?
Twitter?
I'm kidding. Why don't you read your own list?
Okay, off of Twitter we got. Okay, shout outs, y'all.
Nice.
Seven Dust, House of Blues. No names, but we were shooting a band, and that's probably the biggest cool thing that came out of it.
Yeah, we got to hang out backstage all day. Was that we had went? We hung out backstage all day, and then was that the same show that we went to the after party?
Yeah.
The after party that we weren't invited to.
Yeah.
By the person that...
And we had no idea that in our inbox was a note firing us and saying we were no longer welcome.
No, not a note. Not a note. That was like a 3,000-word email firing us.
Where is that?
I mean, was it...
I framed it.
I mean...
But I just unpacked everything. Where is it? There must be a box.
Maybe it's in that soul shit box.
Oh. Yeah, I bet you would talk about an unpacking video. Have one of the songs playing in the background.
Yeah, Seven Dust always put on a good show, man.
Yeah, got to watch them on the side of the stage. It was a cool view, and cool view that's not like a local band, like a legit band with songs on the radio, national tour, songs you know, songs you like, albums you dig, albums you bought at Best Buy or got through BMG and didn't pay for.
Yeah.
Also, tomatoes.
Also, shout out LeJean Witherspoon, black dude.
High five. Also, shout out every and all Incubus concerts I've ever been to.
Yeah, boy.
Probably the one that stands out the most. I don't remember the year, but it was my niece's first concert. Took her to Incubus.
Yeah, I was actually just looking through pictures of that the other day.
7-ish, maybe 10.
She was a little chunk. Little chungus.
Yeah. So, shout out to that. Shout out to Apocalyptica. They did the Metallica Black Album with cellos.
Right.
And it's like fucking 3 Viking-looking motherfuckers who play cellos and just jam. Shout out to Ozfest in general. Been to a bunch. Love them all.
Yeah.
Saw Distillers there for the first time and fell in love with Brody Dale. The way she was playing her guitar was fucking like she was just working it. She owned
just
it.
having sex with it.
Just and then not like great stagemanship, but sing her fucking balls off.
Wait, you're saying that she was at Ozfest?
What was the one that was
Lollapalooza.
Slipknot? Lollapalooza.
Well,
was that Lollapalooza?
Slipknot wasn't Lollapalooza, but I remember
Slipknot headlining the second stage.
Yes,
and then
that
we
was
saw
Ozfest.
Mondo Generator on the second stage.
Okay,
and then
no, the Mondo Generator was Lollapalooza because Queens of the Stone Age were playing the main stage.
Yeah, the other one. Yeah, but it was Queens of the Stone Age and it was Distillers,
and that was Lollapalooza.
But then that was the same one that Slipknot headlined.
No, that's Ozfest. Slipknot did not do Ozfest. And that Incubus show that we took Destiny to was 2004. So
shout out 2004.
So she was
I had hair.
6. Yeah, you had your long ass Jesus cut back then.
And I've been to so many fucking concerts. Like I keep writing down all kinds of shit as the show goes. It was like, oh yeah, that one. Oh yeah, that one. Oh yeah, that one.
Juggalo John in the chat says the Distillers are coming back. They're working on a new album.
Are they now?
Just released a new single.
She did Distillers. She did as herself as Brody Dale. She did Spinneret.
Yeah, she's married or she's with Josh Homme from Queens of the Stone Age.
Yeah, they got kids.
And she was just sweaty and just
was
making
married
love to her guitar.
Who was it? Rancid? Rancid's lead singer?
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
And it's fun because when she was with Rancid, she was Distillers, and then she got with Queens of the Stone Age, and then the music reflected the scene.
Sure.
Shout out Beatles Love. Shout out Ricky Martin.
Hold on. Hold on.
Things you'll do trying to get some of them jugs.
There was this chick. What was? I know we say no names, but what was her name?
I don't fucking.
You don't fucking remember? Some little tight package, and wanted to see Ricky Martin, and Jose bought the tickets and did not.
Got pulled over on the way home.
Yeah,
speeding.
And
cop trap.
He
he rode my ass, shining his brights, and once I sped up, turned his lights on, pulled me over. Like rode me for miles. So I sped up a little bit. Woo! Are you fucking kidding? You son of a bitch.
And she did not ride you whatsoever.
No. Shout out Madonna.
When did you see? Oh, you saw Madonna in the like music box era?
It was I think Ray of Light.
Oh yeah, Ray of Light. That was good Madonna. That era.
Attitude Era. Yeah, that one I did get laid on.
No names.
That one was for an ex. It was a surprise, and like I went and asked for her days off with her boss.
Ooh, slick.
So
move.
she had no idea, and then I told her, "Well, just pack. We're going to go to the beach, but bring some, some nice clothes too." And then went to the hotel, checked in. Well, no, it drove straight to the concert. Freaked her out. Watched the concert, then checked into the hotel, and then you know what happened.
Yeah.
And last shout out
a whole lot of yesing.
A whole lot of ball sweat. For sale. Chubby Chino, Deftones. It was the last concert where it was our gift from Miss No Name, who said she was going to give us a shout out on Regis and Kathy Lee, and then in her
No, it was
moment to
Kelly
shine,
at that point. It was not Kathy Lee. It was Regis and Kelly.
in her moment to shine,
Regis
he
gave her
even
an opportunity.
asked, hey, anything else? She stopped, paused, thought, no, I'm good.
Nah, fuck those guys.
I was like, okay, cool.
But yeah, she
Cool. High
she
five.
got us hooked up with a couple of
Box
VIP
seats.
ticks for Deftones, which was nice.
Had food with her and her houbois, which was not awkward at all. No one brought it up. We hugged knowing that this is the last time we'll ever see each other again.
Oh yeah, that was after.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The same way we ended it with Captain No Name, Bleeding Cowboy. There you go for nicknames.
Oh my god, fucking just
Bleeding
inside
Cowboy.
jokes.
Somewhere there's a wrestling fan just laughing his
Yep.
ass off.
Yeah. Just not smelling too great, just laughing.
All right, let's get into a real fucking. Yeah, so and Chino was like what, tubby and had a black eye.
Yeah, he was a little tubby back then. He fluctuates.
Yeah, he does. So they still put on a good show. I can't remember he was still alive, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think.
He was in a coma, and
Yeah.
they wished him well, but
Yes.
he was still alive at that point.
What was
This
it
before
was the
he
bass
passed.
player, right? Who got in a car
Yeah, I
accident.
got into that car accident.
What was his name? Do you remember?
I do. But I can't think of it
I'll
because
pull
all
it
I
up
keep
real
thinking
quick.
in my head is Chino. I know that's not his name.
Chi Chang.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew it was something fucking Bruce Lee villain name. Or Mortal Kombat. That sounds more Mortal Kombat. All right, here we go. Number 6, Childish Gambino. High five to Lee. Same thing. We saw him.
It's probably that same tour, 2012.
Yeah, probably the exact same tour. Before his tickets were $85. So it was pretty cool.
I mean, $85
you know,
even these days sounds like a steal.
He wasn't Donald Glover then. He was still Community to us. You know what I mean? Like that was
Right.
Community was hot. Summer Sanitarium Tour, Metallica in Atlanta.
Yeah, I was
me-
wondering if you were going to talk about this one.
Me, my mom, Miss Madonna, and I want to say my sister.
Yeah, I feel like
Yeah. Yeah, it was all 4 of us. Yes, because we all took turns driving.
all took turns rolling
Bluntastic
joints.
voyage
Yeah, Bluntastic voyage.
up to Atlanta the whole way there. On the way to the concert on one of like the fucking 9-lane highways in Atlanta, saw a car whose 2 front tires both exploded. The car flew 4 lanes over to its right and slammed into the concrete wall. And then kind of came off enough for the passenger, like naturally bounce off the wall enough, not to go back into the road, but enough where the passenger could get out. And they fucking got out and hugged. It was fucking insane. So then we got there, and it was Power Man 5000, Kid Rock, System of a Down, Korn. Then 40 minutes waiting for Metallica.
I remember that T-shirt with all those guys on there. That's quite a lineup.
Yeah. Which turned into an hour, which turned into an hour 20. And then Metallica came out minus Hetfield. No names, but Hetfield was not there. And they said, apologies, Metallica would love to go on. We tried to go, but we held off as long as we could, but Hetfield's not going to be able to make it. And he threw his back out jet skiing. Once he said jet skiing, the crowd fucking turned so hard, because it's not like he shit his pants. He just can't.
He lost
do it.
his voice.
He comes out with the sniffles. He fucking broke his leg on the way here. He got into a car accident. Somebody hit him. He's kidnapped. fucker pulled his back jet skiing.
Kidnaps.
Oh shit! Got another. See, too many concerts. So they're like, but we're gonna make it up to you. You can come. We'll come back and do the concert for free. Bring your ticket. And I was like, nah, I'm in fucking Florida. I'm not making this drive again. But so they made it up. They just all came out and started jamming. So Korn came out. Jonathan Davis on drums. Fieldy on guitar. Like everybody was switched, and they played "Earache My Eye," the Cheech and Chong song.
Nice.
That they do on the album. Dun 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 dun. You want a taco? So they did that. Metallica, the band, played their song that Kid Rock ripped the music from. What is it? American Badass?
Yeah.
Undertaker's theme song?
Yeah, which is what? Is that Sad But True?
That or the Bells Toll?
No, I think it's Sad But True.
Or,
Yeah, I think so.
So they played the song. Kid Rock sang his song, so that was cool. System of a Down came out and jammed. They pulled a guy out of the concert, and they said, if you can sing this song all the way through without fucking up, we'll take you on tour with us. The guy got halfway through, fucked up once. They grabbed him and threw him back into the audience. But it was pretty cool with what happened, seeing everyone fuck around and different bands playing together, which is you would never see that ever again.
Right, like they were doing their best to make it up to the crowd and almost putting on a better concert than you would have gotten with just Metallica.
Yeah, but the only thing that would have been better was you didn't have to wait almost an hour and a half to tell us that.
Yeah.
Just come right out, say it, and just start fucking rocking. Like, because by then everyone's already angry. And by then
and
you're
drunk,
already out of it.
Drunk and sunburned and angry.
And then you tell me you got hurt jet skiing while I'm here. I just dropped how much and drove how far? I didn't wish the guy died in his sleep, but fuck me.
System of a Down is one of those that I've never seen live, and I'm kicking myself for it. Because there was a time where like they were my favorite.
You didn't see Rage either, did you?
No, but we saw something else.
Everything but the best Rage cover band ever. Okay, then I got Bloodhound Gang.
Yes.
Me, you, Justin the Pirate.
Yep.
We were getting you on stage. They started bringing up the Broskies on stage for that one song. And we were pulling you up, and I slipped, and I ended up taking a speaker in my butthole. That hurt. So we got on stage for that. That was pretty cool. Saw that dude's ding-a-ling. Some chick pulled his pants down. He kept playing. So fucking a high five for playing. Oh, and before they came on, just the crowd chucking this like 13-year-old skinny little kid back and forth, like
crowd surfing.
It got to the point where they were seeing how far can we throw this motherfucker.
Yeah, little kid probably weighed 60 pounds, crowd surfing, and people just chucking him across the floor,
back and forth, back and forth.
It was wild.
Then I got fucking 9 Inch Nails. I've seen them so many fucking times, but favorite band. So,
yeah, that one 9 Inch Nails, Queens of the Stone Age. I think that was that Orlando or was that Tampa? But that was really good.
Yeah.
I've got flip phone, cell phone pictures from that concert that are indecipherable. Like you can't see shit. It's just pixels.
It's fucking great though. I love them. Love them. I've seen them on so many different different tours. And then number one birthday present, took my sister to see Roger Waters' The Wall at the Orlando Arena. Got pretty good seats. Never got to see Pink Floyd as a band, but at least got to see The Wall live performed by the man who wrote it.
Really crazy stage production.
Yeah, like the way he's updated the show with technology is pretty cool. The whole time they're building the wall, slowly but surely, And then he
They were
inserted
like
a little
cubes
bit
of like video screen, right? That were like moving around, kind of. Am I remembering that right?
Yeah, like on the sides were like two screens, and just there was the one scene from the movie where the guy's like watching TV. So like one of the walls with the piece dropped, and it was a living room set, and then they played that scene out. It was fucking sweet. You can probably find it on YouTube, but they have a DVD of his current show of that, and there's like some documentary out there. I keep waiting for Netflix to get. I don't know if they got it yet. It's eluding me on fucking YouTube.
Man, we did not get a lot of submissions for this week's list, but the lists are a mouthful because there's a lot of story and a lot of memories behind all of these. We are running fucking long. So that was your number one, right?
Yep, on this short show.
A short show that is already 2.5 hours long.
Always happens.
All right, so let's pound through some of these.
I got some Twitter ones open.
Okay, go for it, Kelly.
We do Ben yet?
Nope.
All right, cool.
We haven't done any Twitter.
Okay, cool. That's what I thought. So Ben says, all these were in Knoxville, Tennessee, unless otherwise noted. Number 6, Man or Astro Man, the Mercury Theater, 1996. I knew nothing about this band going in and became a huge fan coming out. It didn't hurt that one of their signature songs was the MST3K love theme. Oh, that's cool. Number 5, Weird Al Yankovic, Tennessee Theater, 1999.
Weird Al getting a lot of love on this episode. Surprise, surprise.
Al changed costumes for every number like Cher with laughs. He also sang a tune from one of my friends' lap. He put on an amazing live show.
99, that was Phantom Menace Weird Al, too. Well, what was the name of that song? Just a long, long time ago? Or, Anakin's. It was Anakin something, wasn't it?
I don't think I actually know that one.
Yeah, it was like
it's American Pie.
American Pie.
You've never heard that?
No.
Yeah, it was called Anakin. No, it was called The Saga Begins. And it was long, long time ago. Let's see here. You probably have heard it.
Maybe. I don't know.
Long, long time ago, in a galaxy far.
All right. We're going to get demonetized.
We're definitely getting hit.
Yeah, no, that's never heard that one.
Really?
No.
Yeah, he does it in a full, like, Obi-Wan Padawan costume.
Huh. Number 4, Violent Femmes, Vanderbilt University, Nashville, 1996. They played for 2.5 hours, and I danced my full head off.
Violent
That's
Femmes,
a long show.
Blister in the Sun.
I've seen them live.
No shit.
Yeah, it was like some weird like lineup where it was a shitload of bands that were opening, and they were on the thing.
Nice.
Oh shit! Primus Tool. Shout out. Sorry.
Oh wow.
Number 3, Lollapalooza, 1995, Atlanta, Georgia. Saw Holbeck, Sonic Youth, and Cypress Hill, and nearly got knocked unconscious by a crowd.
Fantastic.
Number 2, Lollapalooza, 1996, Newport, Tennessee. Saw Rage Against the Machine, Screaming Trees, Soundgarden, Metallica, and the Ramones on their farewell tour.
Oh my god, I'm super jealous about both of those Lollapaloozas.
Wow.
Like that was before my time as far as concert going, but like I saw that whole era on MTV. That's nuts, man.
That's a lineup right there.
That's a good lineup.
Lineup for that ass.
Number 1, Pixies, Tennessee Theater, 2011. My lovely wife surprised me with tickets. This was their final tour with all 4 original members, and they played the Doolittle album in its entirely. This monkey had gone to heaven.
Got him.
Ben's screen name on the Wizard boards and the Pop boards was Debaser, and that's a Pixies song. So big ups to that. All right, keeping it moving. Mahoney, I guess, I don't know if they just never unpaused the credits of whatever movie he's seen, but I miss him. He's not on the show tonight. So his list is thus. I have nothing to provide to the top 6 concerts, so I will be compiling a list of top 6 Tito memes. And because his account is private, if he didn't let you follow him, you can't see any of them. But I can at least link them to Jose so that he could read them, because I'm sure Kelly has seen them. Yeah, some real classics in here. My chubby brother lives in Milwaukee. This other
All the
dude that was
best
Tito Cruz.
memes.
Tito as Rocket Raccoon at New York Comic Con. You remember that one, right, Jose?
It's not. Sorry. You are not authorized to see this status.
He fucking blocked her ass. Mahoney
Either
is
that or no. It's not logged. Nothing's logged.
Probably
in.
because maybe nothing's logged in, but probably because you don't use your Twitter. He probably unfollowed you or something.
Yeah, you don't make good content.
Lee in our podcast message just said that Far From Home rules. Tell everyone I said so.
Nice. In credit scene,
Yes.
they show the 6 minutes from Endgame.
Oh my God. Mahoney saw the Endgame re-release, and he was not positive about the.
What was it? It's shitty Hulk?
Yeah,
bullshit?
it's unfinished Hulk CGI. I don't know what the content of the scene
gross.
is.
That was stupid.
Like, just finish. If you're gonna do this, just finish it, right?
Well, no,
Yeah,
no,
just-
no. If it's going to be unfinished, that being a bonus scene on the DVD makes
It's
sense.
fine. Yeah.
But once you are putting it in a theatrical release,
Yeah, no,
if
that's
it's
gotta
not
be done.
finished, it doesn't fucking make the cut.
Yeah, I will agree with that. I think that's fair. I think
do
if
not
you're
like it.
if
that,
you're
that is sloppy, and that almost screams desperation to knock off Avatar.
right, if
Yeah.
you're going to quote unquote re-release this thing, get a big push behind it to try and have it beat Avatar, put the work in. Put the work in.
Maybe that's why they didn't make a big deal about it in the theaters, because they knew what they were putting out.
Maybe it was
They didn't want
for that
theaters
niche.
because then imagine the backlash if theaters made a big deal about this and everyone fucking thought it was dog shit because it's unfinished Hulk stuff. You'd have riots in the theaters. Like, you sold me on this experience. Like, if they had posters and made like a blah blah blah, get a cup or anything, and that happened, the backlash would have been worse.
I feel like they have the resources. I do computer generated imagery at home in my videos for Pop. Like, even if they had 2 weeks lead time, you could do something with that to make it look a little bit more finished.
But if that's all you had, don't do it. If I'm watching a deleted scene on a DVD as an extra, because like the scenes that you see where they haven't done the CG yet, where you can still see the
I
screen,
feel like it was definitely
screen or
promoted
something,
as
firework.
it wasn't a director's cut, that there were an extra.
Yeah, that's what I
scene.
was. I thought they were dropping the director's
Well,
cut.
no,
where's the shit that made sense?
Yeah, no, this is just extra shit they had.
We're
laying
showing
It was
Homegirl
always-
just bounce out of nowhere.
It was always promoted as the same movie, just with a little extra shit at the end. But I do agree that if you're going to put out a Hulk scene, Hulk needs to look finished. In the theaters, it's fine if it's unfinished for the DVD, but if you're making a big deal about it, finish that Hulk. Anyhow, we're getting off topic. Let's roll on.
Damn it, Lee.
We got Juggalo John, top 6 concerts. Shout out to Bone Thugs and Harmony. They opened up for ICP and Twisted tours, so I often think I've seen them the most.
Bone.
Yeah, fucking Bone rules. Bizarre, him and King Gordy opened up for Twisted and put on unforgettable performance. I'm assuming the same Bizarre from D12 with the big fat gut.
R.I.P. He's not the one that died.
No, there was the other dude that died. Gorilla Voltage, they opened up for Twisted the last show I was at. Enjoyed their set so much I grabbed their album that night and got it signed from the merch booth. And then Lollipop Lust Kill, they opened up for the one time I saw Cold Chamber, and I felt that they were the best of the show's lineup, which meant Cold Chamber was disappointing. All right, moving on to his list proper. And I just went cross-eyed. I know not summer, but all the times. Wait, no, it didn't have to be summer concerts. It's just we put this idea out there because you often go to concerts in the summer. So all the times I saw a Trans-Siberian Orchestra, it became my family's tradition at Christmas. Number 5, anything on the Insane Clown Posse's Raining Diamonds tour. They played like 3 times in the Pittsburgh area for that tour.
The only ICP era I know is that Great Malenko.
Yeah, the great Dean Malenko.
That's it. That's the only ICP.
No, that's not true.
That
That's not
my
true.
world.
You're lying because you know Magnets era.
That's not that album?
No, that's fucking.
No,
that was
that's
high
years
school.
later.
Great Malenko was high school.
That's like almost a decade later.
Yeah, come on. Number 4, Twisted Green Book Tour. I got to see the show with a bunch of good friends, but Juggalo shows were always huge get-togethers for the Western Pennsylvania Juggalo community. Now I know what his Twitter name means. WPA Juggalo John. Whenever I'm trying to find him on Twitter, I'm always typing Juggalo, but it starts with WPA. Now I know. This is also the first time I saw Wolfpack live. Wolfpack is back, causing mass destruction. I don't know if you know. Number 3, the Birthday Massacre. I've seen a few shows with them, but I'll never forget the first one. That also had another favorite band, Creature Feature, opening for them. Number 2, Death Clock. What? Whoa. It was a fun show with Brendan Small and band performing in front of a video screen that had animated videos for each song. Plus, the show was a spur of the moment for me. My buddy Ken had an extra ticket because someone couldn't make it. Thought about it for half a second, then met up with him for the 3-hour drive to Columbus. And not many people want to go to Columbus, so that's big ups to that. Number 1, the Hatchet Rising Tour. It was all of the Psychopathic records. ABK, Blaze, Twisted, ICP, ending with Dark Lotus. Saw it with my buddy Sorg and his dad. We drove the 3 hours to the closest stop in Cincinnati, Ohio. For all I know, Buddy Sorg and his dad could be a Psychopathic Records band. Juggalo John has interesting capitalization in his emails. So, like, I don't know what I just read was bands and what was just real words. Nowadays, I don't get out to shows like I want, as I'm sure most of us feel the same. Yep. Getting old fucking sucks, Juggalo John. Amen to that. So we did Mahoney, right? We talked about his Tito memes, so there's that.
Yeah.
Kelly, you got another Twitter one ready, or?
Sure.
You want to do? Go ahead.
Do Kristen.
Okay.
Honorable mention, Rainer Maria in 2006 at the Beat Kitchen, Chicago. Tiny venue and one of their last shows before splitting up. Number 6, Backstreet Boys, 1999 at the Allstate Arena in Rosemont.
Oh, shit.
Mandy Moore opened my very first concert, and my mom surprised me by getting a limo.
Oh, fucking fancy.
I hope you can go to a strip club.
Number 5, TV on the Radio, 2017 at Santa Fe Opera, New Mexico.
I've seen
Benefit show, but we only stayed for TV on the Radio. This makes my list because on the way to Santa Fe from Albuquerque, I saw Wild Horses for the first time. Pretty open-air venue. The concert was fine, but the horses heart eye emojis. Number 4, Christina Aguilera, Justin Timberlake, 2003 at the United Center, Chicago.
For the Fuck You Britney tour.
Yeah, the stripped/justified tour with the Black Eyed Peas is the opener. I was very into Christina during her dirty phase, and hearing her sing a cappella was the jam. I'm sure JT was fine. I wasn't there for him.
Remember that era, Christina Aguilera? Oh, my God.
Number 3, Rob Thomas / Counting Crows, 2016 at the First Merit Bank Pavilion, Chicago.
Rob Thomas is from Orlando.
Oh. My birthday gift to Greg, loves Counting Crows, and our first show together. Venue is open and sits right along the lake with a view of the city. Rob Thomas ate a lot of bugs that night. Number 2, Flight of the Conchords, 2009 at the Airy Crown Theater, Chicago, where C2E2 is.
Oh, awesome.
An old flame had an inn at McCormick, so we ended up with free private box seats. They were a little grumpy, and Brett especially did not like the crowd, but we got to hear Bowie live, so whatever.
Love those guys.
Number 1, Tori Amos. 6 or 7 times starting in 2005, all Chicago shows. I've seen her play solo with her drummer and a guitar guy with a string quartet. She changes her set list every show, so aside from a few staples, you never know what you're getting. She's great. Heart emoji.
Fantastic. Yeah, Kristen wasn't sure if she'd be able to pump out a full list, but that was fantastic.
Yeah.
She said it was just going to be 6 Tori Amos shows, so that's funny. All right, next up, we got Zero emails in for himself and Kat. Shout out to Nirvana, Gwar, and The Prodigy, 3 of my all-time favorite bands that I never got to see with their original lead singers, R.I.P. Huh.
Oh, the Prodigy still touring?
I wonder. I'm not clear on this. If he wanted to see them but didn't before the original lead singers did, or saw them after the original lead singers died. Either way. Secondary shout out to Nirvana Unplugged, the concert I've watched the most. It was on regular rotation throughout elementary and middle school. Hell yeah, it was.
That's a good one.
Number 6, Mudvayne and Slipknot. The show was at some warehouse-like building downtown with no air conditioning. Mudvayne's set went off without a problem, but the PA system broke shortly into Slipknot's set. After more than an hour of waiting around while they tried to fix it, Clown came out and apologized, saying the show would have to be postponed. The band then proceeded to dump gasoline all over the stage and lit the whole thing on fire. Oh my God. That is a great pairing of bands right there. Mudvayne and Slipknot. Come on. Throw, what was that other band with the masks, Jose? Mushroom Head.
Yeah,
do a Mushroom Head Mudvayne Slipknot show. There you go.
Shout out Run the Jewels. Me and the ladies saw Run the Jewels.
Oh, nice. Number 5, Lady Gaga and is it Hatsune Miku?
Yes.
Nice. Who was at Anime NYC as a video concert for that first year.
Was that cool aunt? Shout out to that
No,
concert.
Hatsune Miku is the CGI girl.
The Vocaloid.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, shout out Japan X.
X Japan, Yoshiki. First concert Kat and I went to together. Kat went in an anime-inspired maid outfit, which made the night all the better. The Miku set was sadly a bit short and a bit too lit, as in overly lighted. But Gaga put on one of the most elaborate shows I've seen. That's nuts that they fucking toured together. That's absolutely wild. Number 4, Static X, Spineshank, and Fear Factory. Wisconsin Death Trip hadn't come out yet, and no one had heard of Static X. I love that. I love catching a band before they hit big. After their opening set, I hung out with Wayne most of the night. I still have the signed demo CD from them and their old Tune In, Chill Out, Drop Dead sticker. R.I.P. Wayne. Fucking reminds me, I completely left it off of my list, but Outkast with Ludacris opening for them at the House of Blues, that it was all white people.
And we watched a couple, as they noticed, it was also all white people. Like they're down there on the floor holding each other, and they both look around.
And this was right as Stankonia was coming out. Miss Jackson and all that.
They came out and said, man, like halfway through the show, you guys all right for a bunch of white people?
Bunch of cool-ass white people.
We'll be coming back.
Never did.
Never came back ever again.
Number 3, Family Values. The first Family Values tour, my friend and I got his mom to drive us to Los Angeles for it. We had shit seats, but we joined in on a group that rushed security at the level below us. Then we did it again. Then again. By the time Orgy was done playing, we had made it to the floor. I could feel the heat from Rammstein's Pyro, and Korn had one of the best mosh pits I've been in. That's fantastic. I love it. Number 2, Gwar in 2017. Gwar was one of the first bands I got into as a kid. What? And still one of my favorites. However, every time they played near me, something was going on, and I couldn't see them. Then Odorous / Brocky passed away, and I regretted not trying harder. It was actually a pretty emotional concert for me, with me actually tearing up a bit when they played Phantom Limb. Crying at the Gwar show. And number 1, I was just thinking about this band today, The Used. The Used is one of Kat's all-time favorite bands, so when they announced they'd be playing in Vegas, she bought us VIP meet and greet passes. We drove up there the day of the concert, met the band, had a blast, then stayed 5 nights in Excalibur and made a whole thing of it. When we were done, we drove back home to San Diego and saw The Used again the next day at the local House of Blues. Saw Used a couple times during that era of, like, the Taste of Chaos and Vans Warped Tour and shit like that. And then Kat's list is number 6, Rob Zombie / Korn / In This Moment. Number 5, Lady Gaga, Hatsune Miku. Look at me nailing the pronunciations. Number 4, Imagine Dragons / K-Flay. Mary really enjoys Imagine Dragons. And man, it is some of the whitest music on the radio today. And they just love yelling, don't they? Imagine Dragons just yell sings. Number 3, The Used. Number 2, My Chemical Romance. And number 1, Linkin Park. There are still lots more artists I'd love to see, like Seether, Marina, and others I can't think of because my brain has deflated at the moment. All right. Speaking of my wife, Mary, let me read hers off real quick. She prefaces with, I have a hard time putting down in words how awesome that Childish Gambino concert was. Spoiler alert. Number 6, Midpoint Music Festival, Cincinnati. Back in the early 2000s, I volunteered for a couple of years when I was a broke college kid and saw some great, weird indie bands. Number 5, Prophets of Rage, 2016. It rained like crazy and was full of Tampa scumbags who probably voted for Trump. Probably, yep. Number 4, MC Chris and MC Frontalot, The Social, Orlando, 2010-ish. Yeah, it was probably 2010, 2011. You went to that show, right, Jose?
Yes.
Yeah. The days before MC Chris became a jerk. Also, I think this was my first concert with Knize, which it was. Number 3, Elton John, Orlando, 2019, legend. Number 2, Billy Joel, Orlando, 2019, also legend. Actually, that was 2018. Billy Joel was January. Elton John was supposed to be November, wasn't he? And that got canceled.
Supposed to be November, okay. And then it happened.
I withdraw my correction. And I'd say she would say she's a bigger Billy Joel fan, so he edges out Elton John on the list. And number 1, Childish Gambino, Hard Rock Live, Orlando, 2012. This is a great show in a smaller venue, and it was one of those concert experiences where you know it was something special. And I wouldn't necessarily call Hard Rock Live small. I feel like compared to a House of Blues, it's...
Yeah, but it's definitely not
It's not an arena show.
Stadium.
Yeah. It's not a stadium, but we weren't sitting close. We were up pretty high, but still very cool.
Yeah, but the key word, we were sitting.
We were sitting. Decent view. Like, nothing was blocked. I saw Paramore at that same venue from those same seats, because we used to see a shitload of shows at that venue, but we were always on the floor. And then I believe that just leaves me. So let me pull this baby out. All right. I got a lot of honorable mentions, but it's fucking almost 1 o'clock in the morning. So I'm sure I've talked about many of these shows a few times. One I do want to talk about is, I think Zero was talking about they saw The Used and then went back home and then saw them the day after that. One of the coolest things was seeing Lollapalooza 2003 in Virginia with Justin and his friends, and then coming down and seeing it here like 3 days later in, I think it was West Palm, maybe? But yeah, that was Jane's Addiction, Audio Slave, Incubus, Queens of the Stone Age, Jurassic 5, The Donnas, The Distillers, and Steve-O was on the tour, but he got arrested or something.
Tampa.
So the one it was Tampa, okay. So the one in Virginia, Ryan Dunn replaced him and squeezed a lemon in his eye, threw it into the crowd, and I grabbed it for one of our friends that was with us, and I'm sure he's kept it to this day. R.I.P. Ryan Dunn. All right. Number 6, Ozfest, July 14th, 2001, Tropicana Field, St. Petersburg, Florida. The lineup was Black Sabbath, Marilyn Manson, Slipknot, Papa Roach, Linkin Park, Crazy Town, Mudvayne, Disturbed, Drowning Pool, American Head Charge. We took a trip down to St. Pete, got a hotel. It was me, Jose, and our roommate, Chris, at the time. We each bought a pack of cigarettes and then removed all the tobacco from the cigarettes and put weed in there. So we each had our own pack of weed cigarettes, which is awesome.
Got him.
And then, like, these Ozfest shows, they're an all-day thing. And this is Florida in July. So I got sunburned like a motherfucker, but like saw a bunch of great bands on the second stage. That was when Disturbed was on the second stage. That's when I found out about American Head Charge. Luckily, the main stage was indoors, so you could kind of go in and cool off. The crowd was not into Crazy Town whatsoever, and they weren't into Papa Roach either.
No,
but
to the point where he took his shoe off and started slapping himself in the face. And like people in the front row were sitting. There was people with like their backs to him on their phone. Like,
but like all that had come out at that point was Last Resort. So they were like brand new. But that whole Infest album is amazing. And then like I was seeing hallucinations from my fucking sunburn. And got in the front for Slipknot, and the Slipknot pits started, and I'm bouncing around with sunburned arms and shoulders. Oh my god, I nearly fucking lost it.
That's the one they made everyone get down.
Yes.
It's like, we're not fucking starting until everyone gets the fuck down.
Yeah, everyone had to get down on their
Even
knees.
you cocksuckers in the top row, everyone up there, get the fuck down. So they get down, and then he starts this. He's walking around the stage. I fucking mean it. I won't start, assholes. And then everyone's down, and then he starts a thing, and he's like whispering, and he's talking lower, and then he's getting louder, and then he's getting louder, and then he's getting louder, and you just feel it. And everyone's down, and he's getting louder. And then he's gonna shut the fuck up, and the beat hits, and everyone jumps. Somebody may have died. It was nuts.
Yeah.
Like if you did something like that today. Kids would cry.
This was 2001, man. Like, it was the Wild West back then. And then, because I was fucking exhausted and sunburned, I chilled. I pulled up a piece of floor in the back and watched Marilyn Manson and Black Sabbath on my ass. But it was cool.
And he did that thing where he was wearing the all black, and he raised like 17, 20 feet in the air, but it just looked like he had a long, like, black... priest
and he had the crucifix that was the shotguns.
Yeah
Some sick shit. Number 5, Queens of the Stone Age doing an MTV taping at Hard Rock Live in Orlando,
great show.
March 21st, 2003. So MTV did a series of concerts called Hard Rock Live, and it was just they shot a show. It was just one band, like a half hour to an hour set, and tickets were really cheap. And Jose and I got to meet the band beforehand because I entered a question into this press conference through O-Rock, R.I.P. O-Rock.
Oh, Jesus. High five.
Got to meet the band,
R.I.P.
get some autographs, and then great show. At the end, so they had this whole set for the MTV shows with a bunch of big guitars and stuff and Hard Rock logos. And at the end... the bass player from Queens of the Stone Age spray painted QOTSA on the set. And after they went off, there was at least half a dozen stagehands with rags and acetone trying to get that shit off the set before
fucking
it set
dudes
in.
with clipboards like looking not happy.
And it's just fucking rock and roll, man. I gotta love it. Number 4 is, I would consider my first real concert. So, I'm sure I saw concerts when I was a kid. We saw Britney Spears at grad night at Disney, and then like we saw Lenny Kravitz after the UCF homecoming game. But I would say my first legit ass concert was Foo Fighters, Red Hot Chili Peppers, TD Waterhouse Center, Orlando, June 15th, 2000. It was me, Jose, his sister, mom, a couple other
Randy?
dirt.
Was it Rand? Oh, no names.
A couple other dirt bags. But man, fucking my first time like smoking a joint in a circle at a concert, and Red Hot Chili Peppers. It was Californication era, and Foo Fighters were killing it at the time too. So it was fantastic. It was.
Then they were fucking with each other. What, they dropped like popcorn or something on the drummer?
Oh God, I don't know.
Or balloons.
But it was great. My number 3, Incubus with Hoopastank. before Hoopastank hit big. So they were coming to town. Huge Incubus fan at the time. They were coming to town. Tickets went on sale. I slept on it, and it sold out. So I was fucking bummed. So me and this other dude were the biggest Incubus fans in the group at the time, and I was like, how much would you be willing to pay for a ticket to the show? And he's like, 100. I'm like, cool, I'm on it. So I found 2 tickets on eBay for $200. I didn't have them in hand until the day of the show, which kind of messed me up. But then I ended up winning another one of those O-Rock press conference things. I entered a question, and it got picked, and got to meet the band, got to ask the question, get some autographs. Dirk shook my hand twice, which is fucking great. Awesome show. My grandmother had passed away a month earlier, so like, and their version of "Wish You Were Here" was big at the time, so it was a cathartic deal, and really great show. And then, so we had bought those 2 tickets, and then I won 2 tickets. So we were able to bring Jose and our other buddy Chris with. So that was cool, too. Number 2, that same Bloodhound Gang show Jose was talking about. Nerf Herder opened for them. It was Hard Rock Live, Orlando, April 17th, 2000. It was the same day that... it was the same week David Arquette won the WCW World Championship, I remember. Because we went back to Jose's place and watched Thunder that night, and David Arquette was on it. I caught a pick, which I would then wear around a necklace for a couple of years after that. And then towards the end of the show, they let people get up on stage, and the stage is a little high, and I'm a little chonky, and Jose and Justin had to help me up, but it was camaraderie, and we were fucking on stage, even though Jose got a speaker up his butt.
No man left behind. We were all getting the fuck up there, or nobody was.
And then my number 1, Incubus with Phantom Planet opening for them. It was the night before my 21st birthday. TD Waterhouse Center, Orlando, June 28th, 2002. All the friends were there, high school, present day. We had gotten a hotel for the night, 21st birthday, and it was a great show. It was, past... After Morning View had already been a big deal, and like they had made the jump from the smaller House of Blues type clubs to huge arenas, and it was what a time to be alive at that moment. I like concerts. I miss them. Sure do. So, Kelly is asleep.
No, I'm here.
This turned into an episode of 11th Hour Radio.
Yeah, because I remembered like 7 more concerts, and I just realized I didn't even say one of the concerts I had on my list.
Oh,
another
wow.
day, another time.
Yeah. So, this wasn't as short a show as I thought it was. So, I know there's at least one story. I don't know if you want to talk about it, but let's talk comics real quick, and then we'll get out of here. Hold on.
The problem with
God damn it.
is the ink comes off on.
Hold on.
The
problem. Hold on. Pretend that didn't happen. Let's talk about comics right now.
I fuck kids.
The problem with comic books is the ink comes off on your hands. Every time you turn the page, you have to wash your hands.
Thank you, Filbert.
Damn it, Filbert.
He walked in and then stepped right out the room.
Jesus.
Uh-oh.
Oh god, now we're just gonna listen to last week's episode.
I made a special comic sounder for this week, from last week's show, where Kelly just says "I fuck kids" super clean, and then we go right into the comic sounder.
Didn't even have to be tricked into saying that.
So Kelly, what should we talk about that big comic news?
Yeah, Walking Dead's done.
Yeah. So, what's the details?
Tomorrow's just the last issue. They Shadow ended the book. They didn't warn anybody. Any issues that were solicited further than this and orders that were put in, those books are fake. Those don't exist. And so tomorrow the final issue of Walking Dead is square bound, like 70 some pages. It's still $3.99.
Wow.
Respect on
What number are they at?
193.
Come on.
Pussies. You couldn't have made that call at 200 and just called it quits at 2?
Yeah, but the previous, past couple issues, they killed off Rick.
Wow.
And Kirkman years ago had said that Walking Dead is Rick's story. When he's done, it's done. And hey, it's done.
I think, it's pretty much done overall.
Yeah, no, I think he saw the writing was on the wall and thought, get out while the getting's good.
Yeah. It's a shame, man, because it was the biggest thing in the world at one point. And it was firing on all cylinders on TV and comic books. But you got too many fucking corporations got their claws into it.
I wonder what would have been the direction of that series had Darabont stayed.
Oh, it would have gotten canceled after 4 seasons because it still wouldn't have worked out.
Yeah, I think 4 seasons is generous.
What if it was the 4 greatest Walking Dead seasons ever?
Well, I mean, if you think about it, what was it? So it was season 1, and then they went to the farm for a whole season, and then they were on the road, and then the prison. I forget. It's been
still nothing holds a candle to fucking Shane House in that barn scene.
That Shane House barn scene is fantastic.
That's the last hurrah of that show for me.
And you're not too far off.
Yeah, no, they killed off Shane and I pieced out.
Well, I mean,
that's like a
Shane
Dexter
was always
season 4
supposed to
move.
die. Shane was always going to die.
Yeah, but
you lost.
He was the only
but then he became the best part of the
Yeah,
show.
Yeah, he was the only good character at that point.
It ain't like it used to be.
Yeah. I don't want to pull that up.
Why couldn't they have maybe factioned him off? Like half the group was like, "No, Shane's right."
Well, they eventually
out.
They eventually did that in later seasons, where the group breaks up into different groups.
Yeah, but was it led by Shane?
To be fair, that show was very successful for a long time after Shane left.
No, it was. It was.
It was, but I wasn't watching it.
Right, yeah.
But I still never got hit like I got hit the way that episode hit me. I never felt that again.
Yeah.
Watching.
Did you read anything else this week, Kelly, that you want to talk about?
Power Rangers is back on track. They pretty much they stopped doing the weird space team thing, and now it's like fat flash forward to White Ranger Tommy's around, and you got the second generation, so you got like Aisha, Rocky, and other guy's name who I can't remember.
Bullwinkle?
Homeboy.
Yeah, you got Homeboy. I can remember the
Bullwinkle.
actor's real name, but I can't remember the character's name right now. So yeah, you got Homeboy in there too. And it's good again. So if you dropped out during the post-Shattered Grid stuff, maybe pick it back up.
Nice.
And that's all I got.
You got anything to talk about this week, Jose?
Lucifer, motherfuckers.
Lucifer. We're getting out of the
Fucking
car.
love that
We're
show.
getting out of the car to go to Firehouse to get some subs. And apropos of nothing, Jose just brings up that Lucifer's getting real good, y'all. How did you describe it today?
It's the adventures of. All right, let me read it word for word.
Something about unwoke uncle.
Let me open up my notes. Hold on, where is it? It's up here.
Jose, I'm very tired.
I'm coming. Where the fuck is it?
Lucifer is pretty much the adventures of a cheeky, one-lining, unwoke uncle.
Oh, there you go. That's the one.
And I says, this is why you identify so well with that show. And everybody's pretty. Is that, well, no, we talked about Riverdale, everybody's pretty.
It's a
Riverdale,
it's a
everyone's pretty.
Neil Gaiman, I think Neil Gaiman book.
Yeah.
And fucking Jerry Bruckheimer produced it.
Oh, wild. And then
canceled after 3 seasons, and then Netflix picked it up for a 4th.
Yeah.
I'm on middle of season 3 right now. I don't know if there's a 5th.
I don't think. I think they signed on for one more season, and that's it. But who knows? They might. You might be bumping them up to a 5th season.
I'm in.
With as much as you're lighting them up, you're one-man Lucifer saving force.
You got to make a Save Lucifer video for the PoP YouTube.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm making a petition made.
And then, man,
that's what the kids are doing, right?
Petitions are easy. YouTube videos, no, that's
YouTube videos. You can make a difference.
Can I use it? Can I do a YouTube petition?
I mean, yeah.
You can link to the petition at the end, but just doing the petition, whatever. That ain't gonna do anything.
The YouTube petition could just be likes or dislikes, you know?
Yeah.
Like this video if you agree with me. Don't forget to hit that like button, fam.
Smash
Ring the bell.
Ring that bell so you can make sure to get all my videos all the time.
Please, the algorithm.
And check out my Patreon.
Also, P.S. You're demonetized.
Big ups to JM for tweeting the Captain Marvel link to Nando versus Movies, who is a big YouTuber and actually watched it and complimented it. So that's fucking great. But can we get a retweet, motherfucker?
Yeah, Nando.
Can you hook us up with a retweet, Nando? Goddamn.
Nando Calrissian.
And then because it was my birthday weekend, I got inspired to pull up Dick Tracy and watch that. And I haven't watched that in
classic.
Fucking like 20 years, man. Oh, does it hold up? Like, I realized as I'm watching it, I'm like, okay, you got Dick Tracy, you got Batman, you got Who Framed Roger Rabbit, you got Rocketeer, like 4 movies that came out within 2 years of each other, and all kind of had the same aesthetic and feel, and like they all took place between the 20s and 30s. It's like, I think that's just what I thought movies were when I was a kid. And then like
everyone says, nah, see?
Everyone's wearing like fedoras and trench coats, and it's the old-timey cars and stuff. But man,
he's talking on his phone like a madman.
It's so good. It's so colorful. The score is basically leftover Batman stuff from Danny Elfman. Straight up. Like
sung by Madonna.
It's and then all the Madonna stuff. There is a scene in Dick Tracy where it's Al Pacino, Dustin Hoffman, Paul Sorvino, Madonna. And then the 3 of them are all wearing fucking monster makeup and Steve Harvey shirts or suits. And it's so bizarre, but it's great, man. Like, it was baby's first mobster movie, essentially. Like, Dick Tracy made me interested in Goodfellas. But yeah, if you haven't seen Dick Tracy, I can't recommend it enough. Songs by Stephen Sondheim, which I did not realize. Cameo by Dick Van Dyke as the mayor. All right, let's get out of here. Do we got any top sixes for next week? We'll talk on it. We'll discuss.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
Top 6 times we said the show's going to be short, but then it went 2 hours longer.
Yeah, that's right. So, you know all the stuff. Subscribe on YouTube. Watch us live. Tuesdays at 10.
Bell.
Ring
Smash
the bell.
that ding dong.
Share. You know what? Share our stuff with someone who you know doesn't listen, doesn't watch, but you think will like it.
And then go smash your ding dong.
Yeah. Slide into our JMs. Email us.
Your ding dong smashing.
Email, voicemail, inbox, DM, Facebook, population group. If you're newer to the show and you're not in the population group on Facebook, hit one of us up because it's a private group because we just wanted to keep all the riffraff out. But we'll let you in. Talking to you, Eric Magnus, my new black friend.
And I'll say that's my purse. I don't know you.
And, we'll be back next week, and we'll be talking Spider-Man Far From Home, I'm sure. 4th of July.
Fuck, I need to go see that movie.
4th of July activities, and then I leave for New Hampshire, I believe, that Thursday. So then
New Hampshire.
We got to figure out if we're doing some sort of popcast from New Hampshire.
It'll just be me and Jose.
Yeah, you can do. That would be awesome, actually, if we could figure out the tech for that. But I wish I wasn't so important to the inner workings. Anyhow,
you love it.
I'm literally hosting, keeping an eye on the chat, keeping an eye on the format, recording, broadcasting, running sounders, and I'm managing.
What Jose and I are doing? We're just looking fucking good.
And I'm managing to fuck up all of it. But that's great. So
you do it in style.
Thanks, guys, for this show.
Jose and I are just making kissy faces at you the whole time.
Well, I appreciate the support. All right, so we'll talk to you guys next week. And for Jose Guzman, Kelly Harris, Lee Rodriguez, and myself, Jason Knize, this is the podcast. And good night. Love you. Bye-bye.
Go to sleep. Demonetize this, you fucking Google ass bitch.